All right, everyone, drafting with Michael O'Hara, who is coming whether he knows it or not, for my job, for Pete's job. It's going to be a long stream today. We have all the remaining contestants in. So you think you can tout? We are going to draft 5 Best Ball Mania drafts. It's going to come in quick succession. Everyone's going to hop on. When it is their time to draft, we are hopping in a Best Ball Mania. Mr. O'Hara, welcome to the channel. Thank you very much for hanging out with me, brother.
Of course. Thanks for having me. I mean, I didn't like talk when we were chopping up backstage a little bit, but I am very excited of this. Just an opportunity to get into the mind of the guy who rips 9 puppies in bed simultaneously. Like just to get to know you a little bit and fire off some takes and just have some fun. I'm looking forward to it.
You know, I'll say this about drafting 9 puppies in bed, which everyone says is, just a crime against humanity. I don't want to do this, Michael. It would not be my choice. I was actually just talking about this today in Discord, but I was saying like this, I can't imagine this being my life for like another 3 years. Like hopefully eventually I reach a stage where I am comfortable enough with myself and with my standing in the fantasy football universe. Like I was telling the guys, I was like, if I win the Flock League, I'm drafting 7 teams next year. I'm going to draft 7 big dogs, and that's it. That's all you guys are getting out of me. Like I'm no chance am I going to enter into the Chihuahua next year.
So you're shooting for 3,000 teams this year, right?
That is the goal. I would say I'm well on pace to that many teams. Yeah.
So is the driving force behind that just like the idea of just taking down a huge contest?
I mean, it's a combination of taking down a huge contest obviously would be massive, but it would just be more than anything like a marketing thing. You ship one once. I would very much be of the Liam Murphy school.
I was going to say,
versus the Pat Corain. It would be in every, it would be in every thumbnail. It would be all over all the time. Yeah. So there are many ways to skin a cat, but I can't really think of a more effective marketing strategy than winning a best ball tournament, basically.
So we can expect to see Pug 2 champion in your Twitter bio next summer.
Pug 2 champion, the Frenchie eliminator, whatever. By the way, Neil in the chat, I just want to let you know, Neil, I did get my flannel verse hat. So we're here. We're good. We're repping. And frankly, I feel like is my computer bugging or something, because this
There's no way,
draft is not filled. Like something is happening with the Underdog software right now. If we have to pivot to DraftKings, we can. But you guys, I did get an error when I went to go enter this. So maybe there is something going on with the internet.
Yeah, there's just 0% chance this hasn't filled by this point. I mean, but it's not unusual for Underdog to kind of take a dump.
Let me go. I will go back and go look at my active drafts page and see if there's anything else. So in general, Michael, how have you found the So You Think You Can Tout contest? Has it been better than what you had expected? Did you like honestly entering it? Were you like, I'm going to be better than these guys? I'm going to be very good at this. Or were you thinking it was going to be more or less of a grind than it's been?
So I thought I was going to do well. I mean, I kind of just knowing who like kind of is in this space, just knowing it's just kind of a lot of just hardo, like a little bit older guys who are just really drilled down on their takes and can get a little combative, being like the keyboard warrior kind of type. I had a feeling that I was going to at least kind of like progress beyond the video, like the submission video, and be kind of just like well-rounded enough and entertaining enough to move along. Did I think I was going to go from like whatever, like 130 applicants to the top 5? Absolutely not. But it's been a blast so far. I mean, obviously, like getting to interact with some of the other contestants, get to know people, and then just like being able to do things like hopping on stream with Pete, hopping on stream with you. I mean, that's like not something that I probably would have been able to do outside of being in this competition. So overwhelmingly a very, very positive experience. It's been a grind. It's definitely been a grind. I mean, for that, like that previous challenge, the streamers
Guys, I can't tell. This might be like all-time technical difficulties, but I just completely lost. Okay, something just went to your audio, which would not be.
I should be good now.
I cannot hear you. I cannot hear you at all. I don't know if that's me. I don't know if that's
God.
This could be an all-time technical difficulty situation because we have Underdog down. We have we have Mike's microphone going down. All right, they're saying that you can hear me. They're saying that they can hear me, but not you. And I promise I didn't mute him. Yeah, the stadium pulse is loud, Michael. It's very loud.
It's picking up my audio.
No,
so.
still nothing from you. This could be. Are we getting DDoSed right now?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's
it's very
going on.
Oh, they're saying that they can hear you. So here, let me see.
Brutal.
There we go. Okay, we're back.
Okay,
we're back.
Fantastic.
All right.
Yeah, I accidentally just muted my mic.
That was just on me. But yes, this has been a brutal technical start to the stream. But
It could be worse. We had, I don't know if you caught the bash last week, but Kamish was on with a guy for like 5 minutes who could not figure it out. So that was kind of brutal, but we're all good now. But I am very curious, Davis. How do you think you would have navigated this competition? Like, do you think you would have been able to like kind of parse through all the different challenges and be able to like put something together? Because like it's a lot. It really kind of pulls at you from a lot of different directions, in my opinion.
I think that all of the individual challenges I would have done very good at, like the you have to argue both sides of the same player.
Oh yeah,
right?
I mean you're on record saying that's your thing.
Yes, could do very good at that. I think all of the team challenges, the schemers versus streamers and things like that, I honestly would guess that I probably would do quite bad. I like the collaborative efforts I love doing with, you know, my qualitatives with Pat Carrain and Jacob Sanderson and Peter. But in terms of like scheduling, it's kind of insane that I ended up being a self-employed person because I'm very non-organized. I have a very hard time. Like when I come down to my desk to come work and I am not doing a stream, it takes me a long time to get myself like locked in and
just get the ball rolling.
Wow. All right. This is an all-timer, but the DraftKings draft just started and the Underdog draft just filled. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do the Underdog draft. I can handle the DraftKings draft. If the Underdog draft glitches on us, we're going to switch back. So this is going to be a real test for you. Obviously, I'm happy to hold your hand. I'm happy to guide you. I'm happy to guide you through this, but this is going to be a real test. I'm going to keep it real with you. Huge chance for you to earn some points here. If we get the technical difficulties, which does happen all the time on the stream, this is a big opportunity for you. I'm not going to lie.
I mean, I multi-table here and there, usually just in August. So like, I think we'll be all right to pivot back and forth if we need to, but yeah, this could get a little dicey, but hopefully the Underdog just holds up and we're able to do that. But in typical Davis fashion, he will be multitasking on stream. No slow picks this time around, but we'll see how. I think we should review both teams at the end and see how you fared behind the scenes making those picks.
Well, I have the flock tool pulled up on DraftKings, so I'm probably just going to draft like the most basic like triple stack team of all time. But we are we're about to be on the clock at the 1.9. I'll move our boxes so you can see. At the 1.9, do you do Jefferson? Do you do Lamb? Like, what's your preference? Are you hoping for a Jonathan Taylor fall?
No. I'm Lamb over Jefferson, but I'm praying for one of the wide receivers to be there, and 99% of the time they are. One of those three guys, whether it be ARSB, Lamb, or Jefferson. I kind of talked through it in one of the So You Think You Can Tout videos, but I'm just a huge proponent of getting one of the truly elite, high upside, like top tier ceiling guys at wide receiver, just because it gets so flat and so gross, like even into the fourth round at wide receiver. So kind of just getting an edge on the field and locking down one of those guys. So I'm ARSB, then Lamb, then Jefferson here. So just whoever's there for us. Yeah, so it's Lamb for me. And then just there's so many options. I actually wrote about it recently. There's so many options in terms of the guys who I believe have access to like the legendary upside ceilings in the second round in this range. So I'm more than fine to hammer a receiver and then grab one of the running backs. I know it's going to sound like I'm trying to butter you up a little bit, but I do love Kenneth Walker. Like, he will be among my highest owned players this year. I legitimately believe he can lead the league in rushing yards this year, just given what we all know what he can do from like an explosivity and evading tackles and all that, but what the Chiefs offensive environment can do for like lifting his success rate and his consistency. And I think the volume's coming for him. So I will be loading up my Ken Walker bags, but we'll see how it goes. I think that could be a misstep, just knowing the sorts of profiles that are around there. But if he's there, I'm all over Ken Walker. So it's Chase Brown for me here. I don't know about you. You got Achane ranked higher. Are you just kind of moving along with ADP there, just like to get Achane, or are you willing to fade him at all?
I'm definitely willing to fade Chase Brown a little bit.
Sorry,
I'm definitely. Okay. Well, I am actually willing to fade both of them a little bit just to get more Walker. I think one of the things to me that is so evident is that the more casual the audience gets, the more total people that are drafting, Achane is going to fall. Achane, I think my guess is by the time that we get to August, I'm going to guess that Achane, hot take, ends up going behind Derrick Henry. I think the more casual audience cannot wait to click Derrick Henry, and no one, because there are not going to be any good storylines that comes out at all about the Dolphins. It's only going to get worse. Also, I do hate the Bengals. I mean, I just hate the Cincinnati Bengals.
We can go back and forth on that. I'm a Bengals fan, and I know obviously you're very much a Chiefs fan.
Oh no, man. Oh, that's tough.
I was there the Week 17 game where Jamar dropped a 50 burger, and we won to clinch the division. That was, I think, what was it? The Swolecast you guys were talking about, your like highlight games. That was definitely up there. I mean, I come from the sad state of Ohio, so there aren't that many highlights for my professional sports teams. But that was definitely up there, watching Chase go for 3 touchdowns and like 230 yards on the Chiefs. So that was fantastic, and I will be very much in on the Bengals this year. So I don't know, like, are you gonna have Chase Brown behind like Henry and Achane, or?
No, I'm happy. I'm happy to take Chase Brown there. I think he survived the draft. He survived, like, maybe they would sign Nagy or whatever, but he's one of the few guys who, like, all right, well, he is just playing 65% of the snaps. He's going to get all the high volume stuff. I think this is a very difficult range of the draft. To me, this is so flat. I think you can make an argument for basically anyone here. We have Chase Brown. We have Lamb. Structurally, what do you want to do?
I'm fine to fade Kyron and go with Flowers here. I'm really, really big on Lamar, and I'm fine to like kind of pull him up. It's like I'm kind of buying the narrative that he's like going to be able to kind of do some things in the red zone, unlike we've seen over the last couple of years of his career, the first couple of years of his career. He's proven to be an efficient guy and a high-level target earner. I'm not fully sold on the guys that they brought in. I mean, I don't see any reason why anyone would be. So even though I'm a Bengals fan, like, I love the Baltimore Ravens offense. Declan Doyle gets in there, and I know it was with Todd Monken, but we've seen this be the Lamar Jackson-led stuff be some of the most efficient offenses in recent NFL history. So I'm just kind of buying into the environment and the idea that the touchdown upside could be legitimate this year. So I'm very happy to make him our second wide receiver. And then I love Jacobs, honestly, in this range, just kind of getting him. I know it's kind of a little bit ahead of ADP. I'm good with Jacobs, or Neighbors is a good. I think we can go.
You're driving. Yeah,
let's go Neighbors here. One rep with Davis. Gotta inject the upside, but I will kind of talk about Jacobs a little bit. I mean, just like, do you think that the fall is like exclusively driven by the off the field stuff?
For Josh Jacobs, I think there's a I think it's 97% driven by the off the field stuff. And then actually what you see happen in situations like this, I've actually noticed this specifically with Rashee Rice. Rashee Rice's ADP is not fully rebounded to the pre-prison ADP, because what happens is it's a rush of cold blood to the head. It's like you're throwing cold water on the face, and then everyone looks at the situation and goes, well, Josh Jacobs had the knee injury last year. The offense does look like they're going to be going a little bit more through Jordan Love. A lot of their decisions this offseason was based on trying to make things easier for the receivers. Like maybe Josh Jacobs wasn't a good 2-3 turn pick. Maybe we should take Breece Hall over Josh Jacobs. For what it's worth, those two picks at 40 and 41, automatic for me. Other people disagree about Neighbors. There's a lot of people who feel differently about his ability to recover, about the Giants offense. But man, it's just like, how many receivers, they're healthy week 17, do you want over Neighbors? I think it's 7, with that line being Drake London, AJ Brown. Yeah.
I mean, if I was on the sticks and this was my money and not Davis Mattek fantasy dollars, I would be taking Jacobs. But with the one bullet on stream with you, might as well take Neighbors. And especially with the Lamb and Flowers ahead of him, just having that kind of just insulation to not like necessarily needing him to hit the lineup as many times as you would without that kind of wide receiver depth. But on Jacobs, like I understand like the idea and like the reporting that he's like, they're trying to go more pass heavy. Like they think Jordan Love like has like mastered the offense, whatever the comment or quote report was. But over the last couple of years, they've just proven that they do not give a damn about throwing the ball inside the 5-yard line or even inside the 10-yard line. He just stacks goal line carry after goal line carry. And even though I think I haven't fully convinced myself of it, but I believe that he's just kind of a plotter, like not really that special of a talent. He's just kind of a better fantasy than like what he actually brings as a rusher. But
hey, plotters are back, Mike. Haven't you heard? Plotters are back, dude.
We're drafting Javonte at pick 35.
We have Pat Carrain, $2 million man, saying, hey, you got to draft David Montgomery at the 4 or 5 turn. All right, so we did get owned. We did get owned there because all the running backs went. We don't even have the ability to take Quinshawn Judkins, who is kind of the last little guy here. Are we just taking Lamar?
Yeah, we're easily taking Lamar and then playing for Price at the next turn. I don't do the whole Quinshawn thing. I'll be well below market this year. It's just there's just so many like factors. Like I liked Quinshawn going out. It was definitely, or coming into the league, it was definitely some sort of a laundry bro take as an Ohio State grad. But like coming off the injury, the completely
Bengals fan and Ohio State, dude. It's not looking good for you, bro.
Okay, I need to defend myself a little bit. I grew up hating Ohio State. I was not an Ohio State fan growing up in Ohio. So like, but I ended up going there for school. So I feel like I get like some little bit of grace there, but
you know what? That's valid. That's much, much better than Notre Dame and Ohio State fans who have at best a very lightly tenuous connection.
Like their uncle. Yeah. Their uncle went there. Yeah. It's ridiculous. I hated those people growing up, but yeah, ended up graduating there. So is Price there for us here?
If he is, we absolutely have to take him.
Yeah, easy pick.
We're looking at like, frankly, from the right side of the board, you can't even get like Chuba Hubbard anymore. Like we won't even have the opportunity to pick from Ramondre Stevenson or Tony Pollard when we go there. I mean, structurally, we probably like the team a little bit better with Jacobs over Neighbors, but I also have been workshopping this opinion. Curious your thoughts on this, that actually when you take Neighbors, it's a little bit more important to have stronger wide receivers, particularly at the top, because the whole idea is trying to carry Neighbors across the finish line. 60% of the time, you're not going to have points from him for the first month of the season. Darius Slayton and Darnell Mooney are not giving you those points.
I don't think that you're going to do this, and I'm certainly not going to personally do it, like to go back and like data, like test this with some sort of like analytically rigorous like approach. But like logically, yeah, that makes perfect sense. And he fits on teams like this where you spend the heavy draft capital at wide receiver and you're willing to just hope and pray that you get someone like Price there in the 6th round, or like maybe you get a Montgomery or a Trevion Fall in the 5th. But I think that, and like I said, like definitely was driven by the fact that I just want to take swings in a draft with you here and like just on this stream. So I am more than willing to like kind of let my guard down and embrace that risk. But just in terms of like how you approach team building around a guy you're spending 4th round draft capital on that may not play for the first 6 weeks of the season or like deliver performances that hit your lineup.
If it's 6 weeks, he's still a bad pick. If it's 4 weeks, I think this is priced appropriately. It's just there certainly is a chance that it's neither. I mean, to me, there is still the only reason why I am in the firm pro neighbors camp is I think there is a decent chance that it is 0 games missed. I mean, maybe like 20% of the time. We are on the clock. We have a 1, 2, 3, 0. We're in a bad part of the board. Who we clicking?
I like Dak and then just playing for one of those running backs afterwards.
Okay.
I'm fine.
I think that's fine. I think
where
that's
do
fine.
you stand on the whole 2 QB, 3 QB this year? Because I'm with the prices on like Lamar and Jaden and even like Hurts this year. Like I'm fine stopping at 2 with these guys, even though like the quote unquote Sims computers are going to tell you like even not maybe not.
Wow,
spot,
boys,
but
he dropped a quote unquote sim computers, boys. I like it. I like it, Mike. Don't let the robot overlords come for us.
Exactly. Like it's Lamar Jackson. Like this guy, he's responsible for the greatest fantasy season of all time at the quarterback position. And I know he's not like the like goal line hammer type, but like when you can, if he's playing 17 games, you're basically projecting him for like 800 rushing yards at least. And he's shown that he's able to do the 40 touchdown season as a passer. Like why if I'm going to spend that sort of draft capital, why would I grab a 3rd? So I'm very okay just stopping at 2 with these sort of prices and profiles. So I'm a Harvey guy at this spot. It's the upside is just I think it's still very much real, and we saw last year that he can. I know that there were real concerns about whether or not like he's like his vision or like his quality as a rusher, but like the explosive playmaking ability, the nose to the end zone. They were talking about his improvements as a pass catcher. So I'm willing to take the bet at this price. I think J.K. Dobbins is also a really good pick, but there's also just like he literally never plays an entire season. It just doesn't happen for him in the NFL, unfortunately. But there's a contingent kind of path, and there's the path that if we think that this offense takes a step forward and he does play a meaningful role, like he can get there on limited volume, just like giving.
How many times has a running back who ran a 4.3, got drafted in the 2nd round, scored 12 touchdowns as a rookie, had a lower average draft position because the backfield constitution was the exact same it was the year before? I would guess it is. I would have to go run this through like a stat head filter or whatever. But I would imagine it is the first time that a running back who ran a 4.3, scored 12 touchdowns as a rookie, had a lower average draft position year 2 than they did year 1, despite the backfield featuring the exact 2 players. Well, I mean, I guess swap out Jaleel McLaughlin for Jonah Coleman.
Coleman doesn't count in my head. He doesn't really count for anything in my head, in my internal projections.
It does feel like the market is treating Jonah Coleman like a huge part of the team.
They are.
Yeah, he's running back 47.
Is he drafted as the highest RB3? He has to be, right?
Man, I would have to go. I would have to go look through. But
we'll just say in our head the answer is yes.
All right, man. You're driving.
Oh, yo, it's Fannin for me.
Fannin bet. Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm big on Fannin. Like I don't really care. Like I pose the concerns about the offensive environment for Quinshawn Judkins, but I don't really care about it in the context of Fannin, because I think that this guy is just so special as an after the catch producer and playmaker that I don't think that it really matters. Like this guy can just catch the ball 4 yards from the line of scrimmage and just turn it into a 15-yard, 20-yard play. And with Todd Monken being there, like I think that someone tweeted it the other day, and I wholeheartedly agree with it. Like if he was 20 years younger, he'd be like so in vogue as like an offensive play caller and would have gotten the head coaching chance. I know Silva's brought that up.
Todd Monken, when he first came to the NFL, when it was like was
pre-Georgia.
So I'm talking before he got kicked out of the NFL and went back to Georgia.
Okay.
The first time that he came to the NFL, he was the talk of the town
Yeah.
People loved this guy. They were all over the Todd Monken experience. So I actually do agree with you there. I think we need to take one of these running backs. I don't particularly care. I don't care which one.
I like the Rachaad White price is getting out of hand for me. So it's Kenny Gainwell for me, just with the hopes that he can retain that kind of like pass catching role that we saw last year in Pittsburgh. I think it's obviously a little different. Like you can't just 1-to-1 drop him in there and expect that, and he's going to get as much volume as a pass catcher in an Aaron Rodgers led offense. But I do think that it's a worthwhile bet there. Just kind of knowing, I expect the Buccaneers offense to return to form, and you can chalk it up to the Baker injuries. You can chalk it up to Grizzard, whatever you want to do. But I'm not really like as concerned about Zach Robinson's arrival as some other people have kind of expressed over the course of the summer. I think that he's going to be able to get the ball into the hands of playmakers. And I know that Kenny Gainwell has 1 year of like fantasy relevant production. The profile.
He was a good prospect though.
Yeah.
Kenny Gainwell is a good prospect. That's a true people forget situation. He played behind Saquon Barkley.
Pigeonholed by the Eagles.
He played behind DeAndre Swift. Like he was in a tough situation. I mean, people forget, this is a true people forget, the 2018 Memphis Tigers had Kenneth Gainwell, Tony Pollard, Darrell Henderson, Antonio Gibson, and Patrick Taylor, who has been a Packer and a 49er guy. It was all those guys ended up being pretty good guys in the NFL.
For Memphis. Yeah, absolutely. But I think it's pretty fragile, just kind of expecting the receiving stuff to carry over. We don't really know how they're going to the price reflects it as well. We don't know how they're going to deploy these running backs. I saw someone earlier in the chat declared Bucky Irving as the highest drafted RB3, which I mean, it's very, very.
Hey, if you're gonna be a chat rat, that's the right way to be a chat rat. It's pretty good. I mean, Bucky Irving, I was not nearly as in on him as like other big time fantasy football people were as like in year one, and I didn't draft him hardly at all last year. But not because I'm good at the game, but because the dude had a 3 RAS. So a running back who has a 3 RAS is just, it's going to be a day 3 running back with a 3 RAS is going to be very hard for me to go to the mat for.
I was in on Bucky solely because I wanted to fade Rachaad White. I didn't give a damn who it was as the RB2. I was ready to take Chase Edmonds that year. I just wanted to fade Rachaad White. I'm fine grabbing Ferg here.
Yeah. I think that one feels pretty straightforward. What are your roster construction thoughts with this team? Like how positionally, what are you thinking we're going to want to do?
Yeah, so I'm going to want to tack a third tight end on here. And I know this might sound like a little biased given whose stream I am in, but I am all in on Terrence Ferguson.
Wow, bro. All right, bro. Okay, he took notes. I'll say this for O'Hara. O'Hara took notes, man. He probably, of his own volition, he probably is like a Colby Parkinson drafter, but he's not even going to try that shit here.
No.
Which I think speaks well on you, Michael.
I don't know what it is, but I unfortunately find myself, maybe I shouldn't say unfortunately, but I unfortunately find myself agreeing with you on individual player takes all the time. Maybe that's why I haven't had the most positive results in best ball drafts. But yeah, wide receiver here. Why don't we just slap it up and go with Hunter?
Hey, honestly, I'm like actively trying to get myself to take less Travis Hunter because it's like, do I really need 25% of a cornerback?
No, I won't get that high. I won't get that high.
I think 15 to 20% is where I want to be at on Hunter. I think that feels fine.
I want to keep myself in check, but just given the price tag, like it's not a nothing price tag. Like it's not some just like 18th round dart throw who would have been a 0 anyways, more often than not. So I want to keep myself in check, but I do want to say I am individually perhaps influenced by you because like, as you could probably tell, I listen to Ship Chasing and the Swolecast and stuff, perhaps influenced by you, but like dude, like we're talking about a tight end who had like an 18-yard ADOT as a rookie. Like it's not the biggest hurdle for him to overcome in terms of the tight end depth chart. We know that they're probably going to keep up with the heavy personnel stuff, just given the disgusting wide receiver depth chart they have behind the top two. So like,
no, you're not a Kanata Mumfield guy.
Oh God, no.
You know what?
Xavier Smith.
Here's the skeleton key. I'm actually asking everyone who comes on. Squares, if you're prepping right now, you better have an answer for this. What is your take on Parker Washington? He's the lightning rod. Parker Washington is like the fantasy football lightning rod this year.
Yeah, he quickly is becoming. I am very much on record of having this take for like months now. I will not be taking very much Parker Washington whatsoever because I love Brian Thomas Jr. so much. Like when you, and I don't need to rehash this entirely because I've put it out there many times, but when you demonstrate that sort of ceiling and then you can get them at a discounted price. And I know that all the factors are different. Let's make this pick here and I can continue to push forward on my BTJ stuff. I think it's most likely there's not a ton of running backs in this range. So I'm fine clicking Boston. I'm not too interested. We can just kind of get like a non-quarterback stacked, like little team stack going there. But like BTJ, when you demonstrate that sort of ceiling and you just know what he can do as a downfield playmaker, like you don't need the consistent volume, and the consistent volume is certainly in his range of outcomes, but you don't need the consistent volume to pay off this price tag in best ball and be a worthwhile pick. All you need is him to kind of hit on those more downfield looks and then just do a little bit more in the intermediate portion. Like I'm probably too heavily subscribing to the belief that the injuries hampered him significantly last year. Maybe that's just confirmation bias on my end, but like the sort of profile that we know that Brian Thomas Jr. offers, I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. And I am going to scoop it up, especially when we like the quarterback. Maybe that's divisive, but we like the play caller without a doubt. So I don't know. It's just, I'm going to have a hard time getting on P-Wash when I know I can get Brian Thomas Jr.
I'm pretty aligned there. We are up in one pick. We have a 2-4-5-2. I think we agree we want to do a third tight end. What are you thinking?
Save
here?
that. Yeah, I don't mind going with Tank here. I just don't see I don't see anything really there for Jonah Coleman. And I think perhaps people would disagree, but I think that the contingent upside for Bigsby is through the roof. Like I think if Saquon goes down, he just consolidates basically all of the work. Like is obviously in pretty straightforward the two down rushing group, but I think he gets involved as a pass rusher, pass catcher. We hear the rumblings of them wanting to use the running backs more in the passing game in Sean Mannion's system. So I see the path obviously for Jonah Coleman in the Denver offense, but I'm buying into the idea that the Eagles offense is all the way back. Yes, I have my concerns about
where would you say Jalen Hurts ranks amongst the top 25 quarterbacks? Would you say he's above the 25th best quarterback in the NFL, or would you say he is below the line?
No, yeah, I think he's well above the 25th best quarterback in the NFL.
Wow. I think all right, Hurts mugs Jacob Sanderson. Actually, someone had a question which I think is pretty good. What do you think in the general ship chasing, ADP chasing universe? What do you think it's most obvious that we are wrong about?
Well, the most obvious one, I think, is having 42% of Rachaad White. That is obviously just a terrible, terrible, terrible decision. I mean, like, I think someone pushed him on this on one of the shows. It was just like, this is a guy that we were just tearing down and obliterating like 2 years ago. And now, and perhaps Jacob has changed his tune as we've gotten, like, as the price has been pushed up and he's basically floating as a double-digit pick. So perhaps he's changed his tune and has been price sensitive with it. But there is no way I'm putting all my eggs in the basket.
He told me that the price of the brick has gone up. We are on the clock. What do you want to do here?
I like Antonio Williams here. Not like gonna take him like 30 picks ahead of ADP. Like
can I talk you into Debo?
I'm fine with that.
No, you know what? Actually, you're a guest in my domicile. And Antonio Williams is fine by me. I mean, honestly, I guess as every day it becomes less likely Brandon Ayuk is going to be a commander, he probably becomes a slightly better pick.
Exactly. I think the Ayuk to commander stuff is reaching near zero at this point. Like, it's very, very difficult to imagine him being like them, like just having any interest in bringing that guy into the locker room. So
I don't know, dude. He had a pretty good Instagram post today. It was not him dancing. It was not him like actively committing a crime driving outside of the 49ers stadium. It was just a text post that explained in very clear legal language why the 49ers wronged him. So maybe he's getting his act together. Maybe he's
moaning on Instagram. Bullish perhaps.
We are up in 2 picks. We have 2 picks remaining in this draft. What are you thinking we're gonna do?
I think we can earmark one of those for T-Ferg, the last. And then
here's the deal.
I don't think he's gonna make it to us.
I was gonna say, here's the deal. In this economy, you're no longer able to wait.
Let's just pull the trigger on it. I'm fine. It doesn't it's a 17th round pick. It's not going to end up mattering anyways, more often than not. But yeah, when Davis spends like the better part of a month talking about this guy, of course his ADP is going to come up. And then I would be fine just remaining flexible with these last 2 picks. I think probably 1 running back and 1 wide receiver to round things out.
So you do 6 running backs still, even though the S words are over 6 running backs, you're still doing it.
I'm
hey, that's what this is all about. I'm not telling you you're wrong. I want to hear it.
I'm definitely not one of the guys who is like leaning into like the absurd builds, and where like this year, like a little bit more than in years past, like with just like how acceptable it's become to be running back heavy in the early rounds and like just kind of hammer out 4 running backs in the first 5 rounds. Like, I'm fine. Like, that's about as crazy as that I'll get in terms of roster construction, is like stopping at 4 running backs. But for the most part, I am going to be drafting pretty balanced teams. And then especially on a team like this, where I see the path to like upside and like these guys paying off, like the Harveys and the Gainwells. I personally want a 6th running back on a team like that. So if the profiles were different and we had like taken like, I don't know, like a Tony Pollard, and just like some more bankable, like floor-driven production, I think I would have been fine with stop.
Keep in mind, we have some huge dust balls at wide receiver. We potentially have a 0 from Neighbors. We have Travis Hunter. We have Boston, and we have Williams.
Well, let's take a wide receiver here and then talk it out at the next pick.
I would probably take 2 wide receivers here. 1, because we have stacks set up because there is a Baltimore one that we can take.
Yep.
But I think our running backs are probably fine. All right. What wide receiver do you want to take?
So let's just pull the trigger on Bateman and just lock down the stack there and then figure it out from there. We can just see who's there at running back and then evaluate.
I could really see this one either way, because Harvey, Gainwell, and Bigsby all have week 10 buys, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And, to some degree, we have already made the bet on this team that Neighbors is going to play.
That Neighbors, he's back quickly and producing by middle of the season. No, earlier.
If you're drafting Neighbors in the middle of the 4th round, you can talk as much as you want about, it's fine, we're advanced, I'll take Slayton, I'll take Mooney, but like pretty hard to eat a 0 for your 4th round pick. I will say my favorite 18th round pick is still on the board though.
Is it Tyquan Thornton? Could that be the man you're thinking of?
It's Tyquan. If we wanted Tyquan Thornton at running back, it would be Justice Hill.
The running back, Tyquan Thornton.
It's just like, hey man,
it's a logical pick. Yeah, it's a logical pick.
When you're posing it to me as this kind of proposition of Justice Hill versus Tyquan Thornton, my inclination is to go with Tyquan Thornton. Like, I have let's just go with Tyquan Thornton. Just kind of eat the week 10 buys, but I'm not too concerned. I don't think that
We
the
might
need
not
to,
even
like-
be alive in week 10, O'Hara. Like, who knows? Who knows,
Yeah,
man?
if Neighbors,
What
if
is
Neighbors,
what's
yeah,
the world
if he's
gonna look like
toast,
then?
if he's toast,
But I mean, like, I'm like not too concerned also about just like this Lamar stack stuff. Like, it's just it's Lamar. Like, he's not bringing along that many pass catchers when he gets there, anyways. And we all know like what he can do as a rusher. So like, I'm more than comfortable like kind of having like the skinny stack on Lamar. You don't need to like onslaught it. So I'm fine with not going with another stacking partner for Lamar there. And yeah, I like you said, I really do think it's kind of debatable in terms of roster construction where you kind of go in that spot, whether it's wide receiver or running back. So I'm fine going with the running back there and just kind of punting week 10 and just giving ourselves a little bit of extra insulation for the neighbors stuff.
All right, here's our team. We drafted Lamar Jackson and Dak Prescott, Chase Brown, Jadarian Price, RJ Arby, Kenny Gainwell, Tank Bigsby, CeeDee Lamb, Zay Flowers, Malik Neighbors, Travis Hunter, Denzel Boston, Antonio Williams, Rachaad Bateman, Tyquan Thornton, Harold Fannin, Jake Ferguson, Terrence Ferguson. How do you think we did? Are you happy to put your name on this team?
This team fucks. I love this team. This is awesome.
got a lot of the guys that I like. So, and like, to be frank, like the RNG gods have delivered me so many like 7 through 9 picks this year. So like resembles a lot of the teams that I draft. So I love this team. It's a team that I would have drafted by myself, and I know I kind of I steered the ship to for the most part. So like obviously I had some influence, but yeah, this is definitely a team that I would have drafted by myself, and then just a little bit of spice with going with Malik Neighbors instead of Jacobs there in the 4th round.
I think I would have done Debo or some other veteran wide receiver over Antonio Williams. The combo of Neighbors, Hunter, and Boston could very easily leave us with very little wide receiver points to start the year. But I am happy to be on an island with Neighbors. Like if the worst pick I make this year is a guy who is great but has a torn ACL, I mean, I probably am having a decent. It's not like I'm gonna have 25% of him. O'Hara, people want to support you. People want you to win the contest. Where can they find you? Twitter, internet, YouTube. Tell the people.
Michael O'Hara FF on both YouTube and Twitter. Delivering average fantasy football takes on both platforms, video and written. So yeah, go check out all that stuff. Basically everything runs through my Twitter, so just drop a follow there.
All right, there we go. You I guess we got 2 more minutes. You have one more thing you want to say to the audience, question you want to ask, anything. You got 95 seconds.
I have one quick question for you.
Yes.
Why are you drafting? Like, I don't know how much redraft you're playing, but like, why aren't you playing more redraft instead of drafting 3,000 best ball teams? Because you can like draft the fanciest zeros and it like doesn't matter. Like I love redraft because I'll just like spam like in the rookie years, like it was like Irving and Chase Brown and all those guys just like spam these like upside guys. Like it's so much more fun.
I'm going to be in like probably a minimum of 25 leagues.
Okay,
where I have
fantastic.
To do waivers.
It's so much
and everything
fun.
Anyways, yes. So I'm going literally tomorrow morning. I'm leaving on a 2-week vacation. When I get back, that's probably it for me leaving the house. I will be doing nothing but drafting. The issue, obviously, though, is
yes.
You just can't handle it. Yes. Unless you outsource it to the interns, but
someday,
maybe one day. Yeah.
All right, everyone, say goodbye to Mr. O'Hara. You guys can go check him out on Twitter and on YouTube at Michael O'Hara FF. And I would like to join one Mr. Alex Cups to the stage, Cuplytics himself. Mr. Alex Cups, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, Davis. Thanks for having me on. You know, it's an honor to get to talk to you. Been a fan for years now of the ship chasing universe. And I figured, you know, I finally get the chance to hop on a stream with you. What better way than a flat Diet Coke? Left it out all night. No carbonation. It's lukewarm. Let's go, baby. We are locked in. Is that a caffeine free? Is that
No,
old-
no,
old
it just
can? Okay.
it's the World Cup one.
Okay, okay.
So I guess I should make a real statement here as we are drafting second in this Basketball Mania draft. I should make a statement, which is that I don't purposely drink them flat. I don't open them the night before and
Right.
leave them flat. It just happens. Sometimes I don't want to finish the Diet Coke cups. But here we are, man. We're here. I am getting hair mogged back to back. Generally speaking, I'm normally pretty safe in the fantasy football space from getting hair mogged, but you and O'Hara both do have quite nice lettuce.
Let's go, man. Yeah. No, so what percentage of your Diet Coke would you say usually goes down like day of versus what percent you're saving? Is it like a 60-40 split? What are we looking at?
I was gonna say, yeah, it's probably like 80-20. It's just here's the thing, and you'll learn this as you do more content on the internet. You say something weird once and it gets a rise out of people, then it becomes a bit, and you kind of have to become committed to the bit.
Absolutely.
All right. We are drafting at 2 here. Do you have any interest in getting funky? I know you're kind of new to the best ball streets in terms of being a big grinder.
I am. Yeah, no, I'm Bijan all the way. Whichever one between Gibbs and Bijan here falls to 2 is pretty clear for me. Yeah, I am indeed new to the best ball streets. I've probably before this year drafted a total of 50 teams over the past like 3 years. None of them were BBMs. They were all like Chihuahuas and Poodles or like $5 entries, just with my boys, pretty much getting ready for redraft season, figuring out where people are going. But yeah, I just did recently max the the small, what's the Dalmatian, the $1 one.
The
I got
101
101. I got 101 Dalmatian slows going right now. So
you're bespoke drafting these. You are bespoke drafting these by hand.
I'm ripping them by hand, and I need to get my reps up. I've had a couple people tell me like I don't know the board well enough, and I honestly, frankly, agree with them. So I'm like, you know what? If I'm gonna be a best ball bro and I'm gonna do some best ball stuff, I gotta get to know the board. So I am legitimately staring at singular $1 Dalmatian picks in the 8th round for 30-40 seconds, looking at the team, trying to figure out who fits the build. Yeah, so I am indeed in slow draft hell. I wake up and I have about 60 picks to make on the clock in these Dalmatians, but it's been fun. I'm getting to know the board a little better, so I can't complain.
Well, let me give you some friendly advice as someone who likes your work. I'm a fan. I think from when the contest started, I said that if you could kind of pick up on some of the nuances, I thought that you would be a favorite. You honestly, and I would say this to PPR Tyler, I would say this to BBG, I would say this to all these guys. If you guys actually really wanted to make a living doing fantasy football and best ball wasn't your thing, you are so much better off doing really good redraft content and figuring out good thumbnails, good titles, all that stuff. The total addressable market for redraft content on YouTube is literally millions of people. I would guess if I had to put a number on it, I would guess less than 10,000 unique viewers exist for best ball content. Like literally you're competing for the eyeballs of 10,000 people if you're streaming Underdog drafts.
Do you think it's a growing space though? I feel like Underdog is absolutely growing. It might be 10,000 right now, but next couple of years, maybe.
Yeah, let's make this pick. We have Jeremiah Love, we have Pickens, we have Smith, we have Rice, Brees, we already have Bijan. What are you thinking?
I feel like I'm on an island here, but I love Jeremiah Love at this value. I get the situation is obviously not great, but I mean, this is a prolific blue chip running back prospect. Ashton Genty last year on a not great team was going at the 1-2 turn. Obviously, we saw that didn't work out great, but he is still a guy that I'd definitely be prioritizing in the late
It could have worked.
Right
Hey, it could have worked.
It definitely could have worked.
He had 2 separate 35-point games. If either of those games had come in week 17, I believe he was outscoring Derrick Henry points per game before week 17. All right.
This would be Rashee Rice for me personally.
Wow. All right. These guys are clearly sucking up, but I don't care, man. I don't care. These guys,
no, I'm
guys
serious.
Definitely know.
I'm taking Rashee Rice over, who was it? Pickens was right above him. Yeah.
Yes.
Rashee Rice. I mean, I don't get it, man. I mean, I understand he's a criminal. I understand he's just doesn't have the best head on his shoulders. Not a ton going on between the ears, it doesn't seem like. But at the same time, I mean, this guy was like, I believe he was in my stuff in the expected fantasy points per game. He was wide receiver 4 after Puka, Amon-Ra, and Ja'Marr Chase last year.
He over the last 3 seasons, if you just look at PPR points per game, I don't remember if he's the wide receiver 3 or the wide receiver 4. But he is keeping pace with St. Brown. I mean, he is much better per game than Nico Collins, much better per game than Zay Flowers or any of these guys,
Yeah. And he has one of those roles that's not as like flashy. And I think people can call it more of like a scam. He's kind of just a slant boy, adjacent to like a Michael Thomas perhaps. But when he's scoring fantasy points for us, and it seems like a role that they're totally happy to leverage as running their offense through in Kansas City, I mean, I'm not going to hesitate drafting Rashee Rice in the beginning of the 3rd round this year.
No, I maybe like slightly prefer him in full PPR or whatever, but like, I'm sorry, guys, all due respect to Zay Flowers, come the fuck on.
Okay, I'm not gonna. I'll push back a little bit there because I love Zay Flowers too, but I do agree. 212 Flowers when we see that in respect to like Olave 3.7. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, 212 is a little rich for my blood.
There's a memo that went out about Zay Flowers to like the fantasy football cabal, and like someone didn't attach my email to it because I have never seen anything like this. There's not a report. There's not best shape of his life. No one else got injured. Just like he has just been steadily. Go look at where he was going 3 weeks ago. He was in the 40s. Now we're taking him at 24, bro. This is a half PPR website.
Yeah, I mean, understandable. I think it just comes down to the fact that if we saw like a spike year from Flowers in the touchdown department, and we do see Lamar kind of get back to that Lamar that we saw when he was on his MVP runs, like Flowers could easily finish top 5 in my opinion. Like he has the background and the pedigree to really get it done as a wide receiver 1 for the Ravens. And it's really just been falling short in that touchdown category. So I know there's some question marks about like his red zone usage. Is he really a guy that they're going to be going to in the red zone? But I'm not going to get too caught up in that. We know that touchdowns are not sticky on a year-over-year basis. So I'm cool
we know that they're not sticky year to year. That's definitely true. But we do also know there are certain body types of guys that generate more touchdowns than others. Like I remember one of the classic, I got mogged. I lost a bet to one of my former coworkers at Daily Roto where I 2 years in a row, I bet him that Justin Jefferson would score more touchdowns than Adam Thielen, and I lost 2 touchdowns in a row. Or I lost 2 bets in a row. We are about to be up 1 pick. Bijan Robinson, Jeremiah Love, Rashee Rice is our team. Who do you want to take in round 4?
I like Loveland here if he's still available, and I like Cam Scattaboo out of these running backs would be my
also
guy.
Gone.
Okay, I would probably go with Bucky then.
All right, this is early on Bucky, so you're gonna have to after we make our next pick, you're gonna have to go to the mat for Bucky Irving ahead of ADP.
I mean, 7 picks ahead of is that really that crazy?
Well, we can return to that. We can return to that very shortly.
That.
We are gonna make one more pick. We have 3 running backs. We have 1 wide receiver.
This
McLaurin
for me would be J-Mo or Javonte probably, if you want to take your pick between those 2 wide receivers. I think they're both structurally good picks.
We can do Adams. So I would say that is a classic differentiation between best ball and redraft. In redraft format, absolutely nothing. Assume I'm gonna do 3 fantasy football teams. Maybe I do a high stakes one with my buddies. I got my home league, and then I join in my office league or whatever. Yeah. No big deal to take a guy 7 spots ahead of ADP. If I did 1,000 drafts, 2,000 drafts, 3,000 drafts, and I took Bucky Irving at 47 consistently, all of a sudden Bucky Irving would become basically the most important person in my life. Like Bucky Irving would end up deciding, do I get to win this year? Because not only do I need Bucky to perform well in isolation, but I also need him to significantly outscore Swift, Tuten, Montgomery, Judkins, Scattaboo, Henderson, because there are going to be similar pairings. A lot of teams that have Love, a lot of teams that have Rice are also going to have those guys and probably have a better wide receiver with him, which is not to say you should never do it, because there are trade-offs there. For example, if Bucky ends up finishing as the 6th highest scoring running back this year, I'm probably going to advance about 50% of my teams. If I draft Bucky at that spot.
Right.
So, it's all about risk tolerance, Cups.
I get it. I mean, I think with Bucky, I just think that the hate has gone too far. With the departure of Rachaad White, obviously we have Sean Tucker there, that he's been more of a factor in the red zone, but I think the Bucky Irving injury is a little blown out of proportion, and we're getting caught up in the coach speak of he'll be ready in summer or fall. And we've seen him really fall down the draft boards. I mean, I do think Bucky has a substantially better chance of finishing as a top 5 running back than a guy like DeAndre Swift. I think he does definitely have less question marks than a guy like Bashal Tuten when it comes to his talent profile. So especially, comparing him to a guy like Dave Montgomery, I know you just asked Michael O'Hara what one of the wrong ship chasing, or I think things that he disagrees with the most about ship chasing takes right now. For me, that would be the love that you guys have given David Montgomery, which feels just completely out of left field this year.
Hey, don't align me with that. I just do it because my qualitatives tell me it's good. I think David Montgomery is honestly like dog shit. I'll say this: when we're doing, I'm happy to take him sometimes in best ball. When we are doing our redraft teams, I'm out. No chance in redraft would I take David Montgomery over Tuten. 0.
Okay. Well, that's good to hear. I mean, I just think Dave Montgomery is just the purest dead zone running back of all time. And I mean, have we seen him with volume in the last year? No. I'm really concerned that he's going to get into this Houston backfield and not take on a lion's share of the work like we think he will. Maybe we can get to that later if Woody Marks is on the board for us. I know I don't want it to be the guy caping up for Woody Marks, but we can talk about that later.
There's always got to be someone. We are on the clock. Jalen Hurts, Tony Pollard, Lemon, Warren, Hubbard, QJ. Who are we taking here?
So I think we probably need another wide receiver here. We'd probably be Mekhi Lemon for me. And then we hope that Hurts to do falls that. Back to us potentially. We get the stack.
I was gonna say normally he does, but the guy to our left actually has Devonta Smith, so he did not allow that. We are now up in one more pick. We are up. Who do you want to take here?
How about we just snag another running back? Tony Pollard would be the guy for me here. 4 solid running backs, in my opinion. We could probably stop at 5 after that. I'm liking what we're doing so far with the running back wide receivers. I mean, if they're going to steal Hurts from us, that's fine. We can wait for the next tier. We could always stack up a guy like Baker with Bucky Irving. Definitely Mahomes at the 8-11 will be someone I'd be looking at. But yeah, so I'm liking our team so far. What are you thinking, Davis?
I think this is a totally fine team. I honestly don't really hate the Bucky selection that much. I would have preferred Tuten, but that kind of like Tuten is the one who I have the most in that range. I've got he's on 16% of my teams, Bucky Irving a little bit less, but Waddle for me is the last of that tier. I consider Adams, McLaurin, J-Mo, DJ Moore, honestly, even BTJ and Rome to all be of the same tier player. So not really much of a difference there. And we accomplished basically the most important structural thing in best ball this year, which is that we feel good about our running back points.
Absolutely.
Over 17 weeks. We are not going to be scraped. We don't need anyone to twist their ankle to give us running back points at this point, which is generally a pretty good place to be.
Yeah, no, 100% agree. And I think I'm with you totally on the fact that that's the most important thing this year is not getting boxed out at running back. And I think we did a good job of accomplishing that. I would want to push back a little bit on the Tuten thing that you mentioned. So are you really that confident in a guy like Tuten over Bucky? I know you mentioned in the bear case for Bucky when we selected him at 47 was that you don't really want to attach your name, I guess, or your success to one of those guys being drastically better than others. I mean, do you feel like Tuten is that guy that's demonstrably better than a guy like Bucky, Swift, Demont? Is that your guy of those running backs in that tier?
Yeah, I think of those guys, Judkins, Henderson, Price. Henderson could actually, I think they have similar ceilings. He profiles the cleanest to get the greatest amount of high value touches. His hurdle is, can I get 50 receptions playing on early downs the way that ETN did last year? And then can Chris Rodriguez be bad like he was bad every other year of his career outside of like 4.5 games for the Commanders last year? And frankly, if you can't hurdle the Chris Rodriguez hurdle, wasn't going to happen for you anyway. If you cannot outplay Chris Rodriguez Jr., you are a below average or average NFL running back. And it doesn't. In terms of, if I could choose one running back for my favorite running back prospect to have as their competition, it might be Chris Rodriguez. We are up.
We got boxed out of Mahomes, didn't we? Someone took unstacked
We did
Mahomes.
get boxed out of Mahomes. Do you want to just take Stafford?
Yeah, let's take Stafford here. I like that. Get the locked up.
It's like a very fine margin ahead of ADP, but Dart was not really an option for us. And now we are back up. What are you thinking?
You want to smash that button? Do you want to smash the guy?
You know, I honestly, as Worthy, we will take him. As Worthy has risen, I take less of him now because he goes next to real wide receivers. He goes next to Ricky Pearsall. He goes next to Michael Pittman Jr. He goes next to Jacoby Myers. When Best Ball Mania opened, Xavier Worthy was going after like Jalen Coker. Like he was going after guys who were like coin flips to like even play. Like look, everyone loves Jalen Coker. The memes and stuff are fun. He projects for like 92 points in half PPR. Like he's like immaterial.
Right. Totally. Yeah. I actually did not, since I wasn't in the best ball streets early this offseason, I didn't realize Worthy was going that late. So is that where you got your massive bag of him?
Yes. I mean, I can pull this up. So if I look at my pick history of him here, 116, 118, 118, 120, 119, 119, 125, 113, 120, and then now it's starting to creep up into the 90s, but for most of best ball drafts, Worthy was like going as like where zeros start to go frequently.
Dang. Wow. That's crazy. I think if I was doing a draft by myself, that pick would probably be Jacoby Myers for me. I think he's in. Oh, I'm seeing you shaking your head. No, you don't like that?
No, that's fine. Jacoby Myers and Michael Pittman Jr. are in my like exposures are starting to inch up closer to where those guys are going. I mean, Worthy, I still think he obviously has the ceiling of being a first round pick who ran the fastest 40 of all time, played last year with the torn labrum. But like Michael Pittman Jr. is just going to grind out his 10.5 points per game. If he scores 3 touchdowns, it'll be a bad year. If he scores 7 touchdowns, it'll be a good year. Worthy's range is like way wider than that.
For sure. Yeah, the band is definitely wider with Worthy. I think the band is pretty wide with Jacoby Myers too, honestly. Like the band with Jacoby Myers is he is the wide receiver 1 for the Jaguars, which we're projecting to be a top offense in 2026. And, I mean, we have a lot of conversations about Parker Washington, about Brian Thomas Jr. Honestly, I think that probably one of the better bets in that offense would be Jacoby Myers. He was the highest in expected fantasy points of all the wide receivers in that Jaguars passing offense last year. And for him to go, I mean, this guy got him at 113. Like that's a great value. And that's a guy I'm definitely trying to target with my, wide receiver 4 spot on my team.
I completely agree. I think it's a pretty good opinion. We are about to be back up. We have 1 quarterback, 4 running backs, 4 wide receivers.
This
Baker
would be
Mayfield
the Kittle
goes.
button for me.
Happy to do that. Now, something that we need to think about is we only have 1 quarterback, and our quarterback is Matt Stafford, who is fine. I think there's no chance he duplicates last year's 46 passing touchdowns. So we need to have a plan in mind for a quarterback. Who do you want to take here?
I still think I'd probably go KC Concepcion. I don't feel the need to pull up quarterback to this point. I mean, maybe that's just an experience from my part on the best ball streets.
No, you're probably right. The issue is, and you'll learn this as you get through I don't know, you're probably not in this spot in your little Dalmatian slows yet, but on teams where you were drafting on the corners, so when you're drafting on either side of the corner, you either have to get pretty lucky with a quarterback falling, or you have to take the initiative on quarterbacks generally.
Yeah. Okay. So we might have to pull one up. So I mean, looking at this team, it sucks that Baker went there. I mean, I would have loved for Baker to be the pick with Bucky, because I think that's really one of the paths to Baker or to Bucky hitting his ceiling this year is that receiving work. Man, so that would have been a great pick there. I think looking at this team now, the way I'd address it is I'd probably go 3 QBs with a guy like Cam Ward, and maybe we plant our flag on the Cleveland quarterback, or we could also plant our flag on the Atlanta quarterback if we wanted to get a little frisky. Obviously, not an ideal 3 QB build, not the guys that you're loving to get as your 3 quarterbacks, but when it comes to winning $2 million, I feel like you kind of have to make a couple of those crazy. You have to make a couple of those picks. Obviously, some teams like that might be dead immediately, but if you do correctly predict who these quarterbacks are going to be, then I feel like it does allow you to build out your other positions pretty solid.
If you had the ability to generate perfect foresight and know which of the Atlanta quarterbacks, which of the Cleveland quarterbacks was going to play in the playoff weeks, it would be a huge edge.
Yeah.
But as it stands, you're really what you're doing is you're taking zeros, and you're taking zeros that don't even have, I was just talking with O'Hare about, I still take Malik Neighbors, even though that I think the zero risk is certainly, I don't know, above 30%. Or whatever, right? The return is best case scenario for Watson or Tua or Shadur's. What do you think? Best 15 points per game? Best world we live in.
I don't want to sell Shadur that short. I mean, this guy could have a year 2 leap.
Wow, he's putting his wrist up. He's putting his wrist up, boys.
Come on, baby. Apple Watch is up. I mean, I don't know. I think we gotta take a couple stands on guys like that. But I do agree. That you are taking on a big risk for zeros. I think it goes back to the risk reward, or I guess risk tolerance that you have in the first place. I just feel like if you're building out a big best ball portfolio, you have to be willing to take on some of the risk with those uncertain QB rooms. At least on a couple teams. You know what I mean? So yeah, if we get Cam Ward here, it's a smash.
Ward is people are saying he potentially is the most important person in the world for this team. I also, yeah, okay, all right, we're gonna take Cam Ward.
All right, and then this also opens up the door for a nice little back stack at tight end.
Yes. There are multiple backup. Well, something that I like about Ward is that there are 4 guys you can stack him with after. Right. We can play the waiting game again at quarterback. We could try and do a Rodgers. We could try and do a Geno.
I think I want to walk it all back, Davis. Daniel Jones, welcome to the team.
All right, talk to me about how deep are you in the weeds on gray market Chinese peptides and Achilles recoveries? Because not only do we have George Kittle, who had a new type of Achilles procedure where they attached they fixed the damage itself as opposed to reattaching it to the heel. I have no insight on what they did for Daniel Jones. It's possible that he also got this new procedure, but we now have 2 players on our team coming back from Achilles injuries.
Yeah, no, I think the deep market Chinese peptides could be huge. I think we're on the cutting edge of new medical care for when it comes to these peptides and increased recovery times. I can't say I'm on any peptides, but I've heard a lot of things about them. So you would think that these guys that get the best care in the world for their bodies, that are professional athletes, I think they might have something up their sleeves that us common folk don't know about. So I would be willing, if this were a market on Kalshi or Polymarket, I would be willing to buy at I'd have to think more about a price, that a minimum of one of these injury return guys is taking peptides, is taking 100%. A peptide. I would be willing to put my own money on that for sure. I would put are you saying on the whole board, or are you saying on our team?
I'm saying of all these injury return guys, right? So Neighbors, Daniel Jones, George Kittle, who else is an obvious injury return guy? Alec Pierce, Patrick. You know what? I actually saw there's a picture of Mahomes without his shirt on that he posted last week, and I'm ready. I'm actually ready to say he probably is not on gray market Chinese peptides. He has a beer belly.
He's bulking. Yeah.
He doesn't need it. He doesn't need it. Why do you as a man need an ACL? Cups, what jersey is that? Is that a Trey Lance jersey?
Let's just say it's a number 5 on the 49ers. So it's a Mike Evans. We don't have to look at the back, but in reality,
Trey Lance jersey is cooler.
You think that's cooler? Okay. In that case, it's a $3.99 Fanatics Trey Lance jersey.
The more obscure and the more random a jersey is, the cooler it is. That is like the number one rule. Like if I want to pull a cool jersey out, I'm pulling out like my Seattle Mariners Michael Morse jersey. I'm pulling out my I have a Hollywood Brown Arizona Cardinals jersey.
Oh,
like I'm
beautiful. I love that.
Come on.
Okay, I take it all back. I take it all back. I don't want to be ashamed to wear a Trey Lance jersey. All right, that Trey Lance was sick. Okay, and I'm not going to stand for any slander of Trey Lance. I still will I'll go to the grave thinking he didn't get a fair shake with the 49ers.
People are saying going back to high school, he still has fewer than 1,000 recorded dropbacks.
Okay, that's actually insane, but I believe it, man.
No, it's true. It's true.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I think we'll be seeing him in the CFL soon enough. I think you guys mentioned it on Ship Chasing, that Trey Lance, Anthony Richardson matchup in the CFL is going to hit crazy in 2029.
It's going to hit absolutely insane. All right. We are about to be back up. We have 3, 4, 5, 1. Who would you like to select here?
3, 4, 5, 1. I mean, this for me, come on down, Gunnar Helm. Is that a reach? I can't tell.
It's a small reach, but again, we're on the turn. We're about to be back up anyways. And for the way our team works, Helm is a better pick than Hawkinson, Schultz, and Barner, I think.
Okay.
We are back up again. Who would you like to select now?
Is it too early for Ferg? Would he come back? Because I do actually have a bull case for Ferg.
As in Terrence Ferguson?
Yes.
Look, it's never too early for Terrence Ferguson.
Okay. Yeah, no, I have some stuff you might like on Ferg. I know that you're hoping that Big Fantasy doesn't find out about him, so we could keep scooping that Ferg value. But I do run year 2 comps based on these guys' prospect profiles and how they performed in their rookie seasons. And
I just ran these for Ferguson. I'm wondering who yours is, because there was one name on mine. That's
baby. I think we probably have the same. Is it this guy back here?
Is it Schmade?
Oh, can you see the jersey?
Yeah,
it is Schmade.
Yes,
he's the number one comp I have for Terrence Ferguson, and that's the one too for me that the lights are going off. This is a guy that has a pretty solid prospect profile that I think we were kind of sleeping on back in 2025.
I was going to say, I kind of forgot, because my fascination with him is new. And I have this YouTube video coming out while I'm on vacation that is literally a 15-minute diatribe on Terrence Ferguson. I had actually forgotten not only was he a rock solid prospect, this is another thing lost to time that you just forget about. He was the first pick of the Rams draft last year because they didn't have a first round pick. You don't even think about that. And then you go back and you're like, this is a team that's flat in the middle of a Super Bowl window, and their first pick was a developmental tight end.
Yeah. No, I mean, hey, some might call that bullish. And I'm not worried about Max Clare. I'm not worried about Terrence. No. I'm not worried about Colby Parkinson. I'm not worried about Tyler Higbee. I mean, this is a guy that has the profile to be a legit tight end 1. Okay. And even past Trey McBride, I comp out the 20 closest comps. You get guys in there like David Njoku. We have Gerald Everett, Austin Hooper, these guys that were, never world beaters, but they were at least guys that you could rely on for a potential top 12 season. So even if he's not Trey McBride, because obviously that's a massive ceiling comp, I think there's still some room.
Kids these days don't remember making Gerald Everett waiver claims, and it's something that we've lost as a country. We
shout out fellow Rams tight end, another one.
It's true. We have a 3, 4, 5, 3.
Okay.
So we probably need a minimum of one more running back and then probably two more wide receivers. We have Stafford, Cam Ward, Dan Jones. Ridley is gone.
Okay.
So we have everyone stacked other than Dimes. Who would you like to, as we're getting into later rounds, who are you looking at?
Can we take a look at the wide receivers real quick, please?
Yes, you can. By ADP, Wicks, Tank Dell, Ayuk, Cooper Kupp, Elijah Surratt, Pat Bryant, Darnell Mooney, Jalen Noel, Troy Franklin, Booty, Tyquan Thornton, Rashad Bateman.
I like Elijah Surratt on this team, just with some rookie upside. I know we already have. I think we have one rookie in.
Let's take a running back because we can come back around to him. Are any of these running backs do anything for you?
We could take our shot on a guy like Jordan James. I mean, I don't know if you're in the Jordan James or the Kalen Black camp, but I think that 49ers RB2 is just an unbelievable value right now. I think you have to obviously get the coin flip right as to who it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be Isaac Garindo, but I like taking a shot on Jordan James there. For me, this would be Surratt. This is my favorite of the rookies that are left. Yeah, I mean, Surratt's one of those guys. I know we don't have a stack for that, obviously, but
that's fine.
I think Surratt's one of my favorite rookies to take shots on in the last few rounds in these drafts because he really does have one of the best production profiles from the 2026 class. I'm curious what your slap model says about Surratt because I feel like the data community is almost split on Surratt's production, and mine likes him a lot. And it has him, I think, is the third best production profile of the 2026 wide receivers. But that being said, obviously sliding to 114th in the draft and Jacoby Lane getting drafted before. Obviously a little more question marks with him. But yeah, I'm curious what does your stuff say about Surratt?
I'm trying to pull it up right now because I don't have. Okay, here we go. Elijah Surratt. It likes him. Okay. Right. It basically says like he's fine. Looking at all this stuff, like the draft capital, pretty good. The breakout age is okay. He gets a boost from Omar Cooper Jr. being a first round pick.
Yep.
Not an early declare. Peak dominator rating 26%. This is like there are a billion guys like this that exist in fantasy football. He could totally be fine. But I mean, I'm sure you have run into this over time, which is the more individual things you try and add into your prospect model, actually the noisier it gets and the less linear
100%.
it is. And the simpler it is, the more the results reflect reality. I tried to add so many things to the wide receiver part of it. I mean, I tried everything. I tried like name a statistic that exists. And I tried to test it and nothing really beats receiving yards per team pass attempt, peak dominator rating, breakout age, and draft capital. And
it's so interesting, Davis, that you say that because my top 5 most predictive fields or attributes, I guess, totally different.
Really?
Yeah. One that I know that does a lot of heavy lifting for me is the percentage of your receiving yards that came in your early declare years. So freshman, sophomore, junior.
Okay, now we were probably testing against different things though. What was your like NFL denominator? Like
great point. So my NFL denominator is fantasy points across their 3 best seasons. So like their prime 3 years fantasy points per game.
So I didn't test for that at all. I tested for year 1 points.
Okay.
First 3 years points per game, and then basically like a hit rate in terms of how often did this profile turn into a wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, flex starter. So I had a very different denominator.
I dig that. And I think, that's what makes the data stuff so fun for me is like, there's so many ways to set it up, right? And things you can test for. And it changes. Like the inputs change in terms of which ones are most predictive, depending on what you're testing for. So it doesn't surprise me that, the stuff that you set it up to test against is different than mine. But I think that's what makes it so much fun.
All right. We have one final pick here, sir. Whomst would you like to select? Would you agree that this should be probably a wide receiver with how strong our running back room is? we're adding very little. We took Jordan James kind of as our lottery ticket. Yeah. So I think any wide receiver here is fine.
Is Dontavian Wicks available?
No, he just went. We don't really have any stacks set up. So anyone you want.
Man. All right, let's go Keenan Allen. Let's take a shot on Keenan Allen coming back to potentially like a team like the Colts. I like that. Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. I think he's one of the guys. He seems to me like he should be a little closer to Deebo Samuel going in the 14th round. Like the difference between Deebo and Keenan Allen, looking at it on this board, is actually kind of blowing my mind a little bit.
Well, I think we feel 100% confident that Deebo is going to play. I would say Keenan, I'm probably 47% odds. I think I'd bet Keenan to play this season at plus money, but I wouldn't bet it at minus 110. I think
really?
if you offered it to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not so sure Deebo's coming back, man. I don't know. I get it. I get that maybe as a mid-season guy. Like, do we see him getting signed before opening day? I mean, I guess I just don't see it with him, man. I didn't see it last year. I struggled to see a role that's open on a team that he would really fit.
Well,
like,
I tell you what, every day that Brandon Ayuk is not a Washington Commander makes it more likely that he just returns to the team and he was just on. I would not rule out him going back to the 49ers, by the way.
Wow.
They're counting on Christian Kirk and Stribling right now. So those could easily be zeros. The Baltimore Ravens have 2 rookie wide receivers and Bateman as their outside options with Flowers right now. Who do the Raiders have, Cups? The Raiders
Jalen Naylor, baby.
The Raiders could sign all these guys. The Raiders could sign Keenan Allen, Deebo Samuel, and Diggs and still not feel great about their wide receiver room.
Yeah, you could even throw Tyreek Hill in there too, man.
Dude, okay. Have you seen this video on Tyreek Hill's YouTube?
I have not. I can't say I've been tapped in with Tyreek Hill on YouTube recently. Has he been uploading?
All right. Well, you shouldn't, because ever since I saw this, when I get to the end of these drafts, I go, what if?
Oh no.
I go, what if? I go, he looks pretty good to me. He looks pretty.
I don't know. He didn't look too great in going down that ladder, man. Yeah, I didn't see much burst there. I don't know if that was an old clip.
Look, he doesn't even have a brace on some of these.
Okay, so I mean, some of these he does. Look, no brace. There's no brace on these. What's the upload date on this YouTube video?
This was like 2 weeks ago.
Cheetah Reborn intro.
Look at this dude. The gray market Chinese peptides. It's going.
He's getting injected.
It's going in his knee right now, man.
Oh my god.
So this was the one that got me.
Okay.
This was what got me.
Yep.
Because there's no brace on, and he is flexing on the
no brace,
the
and he's got the balance. Yeah, that's okay. All right. Maybe it should have been Tyreek over Keenan Allen. Now that I see this video.
If I told you that one of these guys was signing with a team the last week in October, who would you rather have if one of them was signing in the last week of October? It's not even close. It's Tyreek, right?
I think it's absolutely Tyreek. And also Tyreek, before he got hurt last year, he wasn't that bad. Okay?
He was not that bad. He had a 100-yard game week 2, right?
Something like that. Yeah. I mean, he was a top 24 wide receiver in points per game, I believe.
Tyreek last season, 8 points, 16 points, 15 points, 12 points. 12 points was in the game where he shredded his leg.
Well, and that was in like the second quarter. That could have been a nuke.
I'm just saying, bro.
I'm
just saying, if everyone in the NFL is on gray market Chinese peptides, of all the guys who's most likely coming back, who's most likely to break an NFL rule and take gray market Chinese peptides?
Bro, I mean, he in his intro video has him getting injected by something and gritting his teeth. So bro, he might not even be trying to hide it.
I'm just saying. That's all that I'm saying. All right, Cuts. Sold. We have a couple minutes before we're bringing in Mr. Squares. The floor is yours. You can promote anything. You can ask me anything you would like. This is Cuplytics Corner.
Okay. All right. So I think I'll just start real quick by kind of introducing like a little bit of what I do to your chat that might not be familiar with the show or things that I've got going on. But so I am, like Davis has said, like I do the analytics stuff. That's kind of my bread and butter. I actually went to undergrad for computer science, and then my master's degree I got in data science, which I proceeded to write a 90-page thesis on creating a machine learning model for projection or predicting NFL fantasy point success based on your collegiate profile. So I've had like formal education in it, which is kind of crazy. But it's something I love doing. I do a lot of videos over on my YouTube at Cups Analytics, CUPPS Analytics, all one word, where I have a 2025 year 2 breakdown for each player in like the top 24. So if you want to go see what their year 2 comps look like for 2025 guys, go check that out. I have a year 1 for the 2026 rookies. I have the 20 closest comps for all those guys. You can go check out that series as well. I'm trying to upload a couple videos a week right now, but obviously gets a little sticky with this competition and the streams that come up. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been working on, and it's been a pleasure having or being on your channel, Davis. I really appreciate it.
Well, I mean, first off, I'm happy to have you guys. This has been great for me. I love getting to chop it up with new people, and yeah, it's good stuff. I actually did have a little piece of advice that I wanted to impart for you, and this is actually just good for all. So you think you can tout contestants, which is that number one thing. A lot of people are going to tell you guys, hey man, you're going to try and do the solo creator thing on your own. You're going to need to learn how to use AI, which I think is true. If you're going to be a solo entrepreneur in 2026, you definitely want to use AI and make it work for you. However, you know who does not want to have AI work fed to them? Consumers. No one wants it, right?
Dude,
this is a universal paradox thing that we all have going on, which is that if you know how to use AI, makes your life easier, allows you to get more work done, but no one wants to read AI writing. No one wants to look at AI graphics, right? So yeah, the AI work needs to be done in the background. And I think you have already figured this out yourself a little bit, because I wanted to pull this up. So this thumbnail right here, it's not bad, right? It's like it could be way worse.
Can I stop you for 1 sec, Davis?
Yes.
So to try to generate like traffic to my videos, obviously, you know, when you start as a creator, it's like you're kind of throwing shit out in the ether and like no one's listening. So
100%.
For me, starting like for the past year, I started last September. I've been uploading all my videos to Reddit, right? I upload my video to Reddit and mostly get flamed. Like Reddit is the Wild West. Like there's dudes over there that are just
I was gonna say I don't even post my stuff on Reddit because I'm like, I don't want to. Those people are gonna bully me.
No, dude. So I posted this one yesterday, and I got like so cooked for this thumbnail because it's so obviously AI, right? And so yeah, continue. I know that's probably the direction you're gonna go. Like,
well, no, but you already figured this out yourself, which is this is so much better. This is so much better. And I'm sure what you did is you YouTube searched fantasy football videos and you saw what other people are doing. And if you are a graphic designer and you're really good at this stuff, could you do a better thumbnail than this? That's way better. Yeah, you could. Like you could hire a graphic designer, but following the formula that is generally out there and then making it better, making it a little bit cleaner is how it's done. Ron, my guy Ron, makes great thumbnails, right? Yeah. I'm not even saying I'm that good at it. I'm really not saying that I'm that good at it. But I was telling this to O'Hara as well. It's not fair that this is the way it works, but the way YouTube works, if you just think about the tunnel of how you get people to pay attention, you will just never get people to pay attention to you unless your thumbnail and your title is good. That you could be a millionaire with the greatest content. Like literally you watch the video and you win your league. And it doesn't matter if your titles and your thumbnails are not good. So that is my advice to you and to all of the so you think you can tout contestants is if you are wanting to do it.
Ron says in chat, package over product. That's so tough to hear as like someone that really cares about the product, but it's like I get it. I get it. It's like, that's what people are just they're the short attention span society nowadays is just so cooked, right? So you need to draw people in.
Yeah.
But,
I would say my rule of thumb is 2 faces maximum, 1 face, 2 face maximum, no more than that. Maximum 4 words. Never exceed on the thumbnail. Never exceed 4 words. You want like a maximum of like 3 focal points. And you will get better. And yes, quality product. You could have the greatest packaging in the world. You could hire Mr. Beast's guys to be your team, and if the product stinks, it also won't grow. But you can't have one. You can't have one without the other. So thank you very much for hopping on, Mr. Cups. I appreciate you, and I wish you luck in all your future endeavors. And I will hope to hear from you soon.
All right, Davis. Appreciate it, man. Thanks again.
All right, everyone, welcome in Mr. Tony Squares himself. Now, Squares.
Yes, buddy.
How much in the trenches have you been learning ball? Like, are you? Please tell me that you have been grinding something that is not the Swolecast over the last week as you try and remain in this competition. Tell me you've been grinding.
I will tell you what I've been grinding. It's sitting right behind me, a little soccer ball in Seattle. I was on pleased to be heading the Seattle team over there, trying to get the games done at the World Cup, helping a bunch of fans find their seats and get their beers and get their hot dogs. And in the off time when I'm at the hotel, I was diving into some of these Warren Sharp books that I've downloaded every year that I've known Warren Sharp and gone into these teams, 3.5 teams into it, and his 60-page intro. So yeah, I have been grinding. Have I been in 3,000 best ball drafts like you said with Bucky O'Hara? You don't need
no. Hey, you
no,
don't need that.
Absolutely not.
Hey, Squares, you have one part of the job down, right? You're pretty good. You're pretty good on camera. Not gonna give you any significant criticism there. I think you're doing a great job. We are drafting at the 6th slot in this draft, by the way. And you were I to tell someone they could have either one thing, they could be the greatest ball knower of all time or confident and smooth on a camera. It's not even close. I would want them to be confident and smooth on the camera. People largely, if they are watching YouTube content, are watching it to be entertained. If I want to be informed about something, I'll read a book. I guess other people, if they want to be informed about something, will ask ChatGPT. So you got to be entertaining. Like I just told Cups, it doesn't matter. I mean, Cups is a very smart guy, knows a lot about football, but you gotta be good on the camera. But I also need you to know ball. We are gonna be taking our 1st round pick in the 6th round. Who would you like to select here?
I mean, JSN's fallen to us. I'm doubling down on that one. That guy has hit the world's his oyster in that Seattle offense. We just came from the Seattle field. I'm feeling the vibes. This is a great start for him to fall this far. How much JSN do you have in your 70 million drafts you're putting out there?
Well, Squares, I have about 8.3%. And if you do the math on why I'd have about 8.3%, you would know there are 12 slots. You divide 100 by 12 and you get to about 8.3%. So I'm happy to take him. I mean, I'm happy to take JSN in general. You were in Seattle this last week. Are you a Seattle native?
No, I live in Los Angeles. I was in Seattle for the last month just working the World Cup. It was a blast, but I'm very happy to be home. I'm not an away team player.
Doing what at the World Cup?
I was running the events for the VIP guests. I was managing a team of Seattle hires, feeding people, getting them beer, getting them into the bars, getting them into the game. It was great because then I got to sneak into the game, don't tell FIFA, and watch the games as they were going on because we only worked pre and post party. So couldn't have been a better situation for me in Seattle.
That game, of my time watching the U.S. men's national team, given my expectations coming in and their performance, I actually think that was even worse than the Trinidad and Tobago game. I actually think that was. I mean, maybe the last time we got, like, the Netherlands loss that wasn't really that bad. Honestly, they tried really hard in that game. We are on the clock. Our options are Derrick Henry, AJ Brown, Bowers, Drive the ship.
Time out. No, this is easy. Derrick Henry. This is a fantastic falling to us right now. I love this so much. I understand Derrick Henry is hitting that age 32 gap right there. I still love this Baltimore offense and runs entirely through him. If Lamar's back to full health, that the heavy boxes Derrick Henry normally sees will not be as impactful on his game. I'm hammering Derrick Henry at this slot. Are you scared of the age of Derrick Henry? Because I don't think the reaction was huge on your end there.
Yeah, I'm pretty scared. I mean,
Okay.
Squares. I'm 33 years old. Derrick Henry and I are the same age, and when I get up in the morning, generally speaking, there's a new ache, there's a new pain. I'll go, oh, my shoulder, man. I don't know. My shoulder, and I can't. I mean, I'm sure Derrick Henry. I'm sure spends whatever, a couple $1 million on his body every year. He's locked in
A little bit.
but Father time is undefeated. There's no, Michael Jordan on the Wizards, LeBron James last year. Father time comes for everyone eventually.
You just saw Tyreek Hill getting stuff pumped into his body, and we don't know what it is. You don't think Derrick Henry is pumping everything he can to keep that body moving there? I think Derrick Henry. I have no worries that Derrick Henry will last a hell of a lot longer than we expect him to. Now, I do love Zay Flowers here, but that is a little bit heavy on the Baltimore side because someone would try to snipe Lamar. But my first pick out of this group right here is Zay Flowers and going heavy on the Baltimore train.
All right. Hey, I don't think I have in Best Ball Mania. I don't believe I have any of these. And I can actually check this right now, but I'm going to guess that across all of my thousands of teams, I'm actually going to guess that I have very few combinations of these two together on the same team. And I would be happy to take Lamar with them. Hey, tennis elbow is not a joke. I've had, Tony, across all my teams, I only have these guys together 3 times on over 1,000 fantasy football teams. I only have these together on the same team 3 times.
This is why you bring me on here, because I saw, what was that, fantasy football? It looks at all the drafts you've ever done and tells you how well you've done. I saw Davis Mattek wasn't exactly at the top of the leaderboard on that, so maybe we do need to expand your repertoire a bit.
We call that best ball Palantir, Tony, and we are not a fan. we call that pocket watching. And we don't support it. We don't support pocket watching on this channel.
I could see why you wouldn't be a fan, but maybe it's time to diversify that portfolio a little bit, my friend. I think this Baltimore team is really picked to be one of the heavy Super Bowl contenders. I think it's going to be a high-flying offense. It all depends on Lamar's health and have they fixed the inside of that offensive line, and I think they have.
Let me make a point here to the chat, which is my guy Tony said he's 3 teams in to the Warren Sharp football preview. And if he's doing it alphabetically, that means he probably just finished the Baltimore Ravens this morning.
Absolutely.
So he's got a lot of Zay Flowers stats in his head.
I do.
We're probably going to be in. He might even know Josh Cuevas' name because he just finished the Baltimore Ravens preview. Not to harp on your game theory here.
Yeah.
You should have read the Kansas City Chiefs preview chapter before coming on. You should that would have been a good call.
I got a lot of questions about Kansas City because I know you're a huge fan, and I have hated Matt Nagy all of my life, and I believe he was the real boulder holding back that offense. And I'm wondering, as a fan's perspective, do you believe that that's the guy that is going to be the fact that he's out of the building? They're going to be a fixed team now.
Honestly, yeah, I really like it. There are a lot of I could talk about this for hours, but really at the end of the day, who do you want to take here? Are you okay with Mr. Scadaboo with the aforementioned?
Absolutely
Matt Nagy,
not.
Do you want to take Garrett Wilson? Tell me who we're
I
taking.
want Mike Evans. 100%. I want Mike Evans with Brock Purdy throwing him the outside ball. I think Mike Evans is set to have a huge year, and we're going old. This team is already way too old that I normally draft. I don't care. Mike Evans is on my side. But tell me more from the Kansas City fan angle, because I truly want to know. Because I love Pat Mahomes. I think Rashee Rice, now that he's successfully out of prison, is going to have a big year. I think this team is going to be a hell of a lot better offensively than they were. But am I just looking at it through the rose-colored glasses of hating Matt Nagy?
No, because there is a real reason why the team would be better, which is that their best results as a team have come with Eric Bieniemy as the offensive coordinator. And Bieniemy, of all the coaches that Andy Reid has worked with, has probably been the number one coach who is willing to tell Andy Reid to change, to fuck off. He's like, no, we're going to do this. There was this, one of my favorite clips of the team that has come out from training camp was Mahomes and Walker start a drill, and they do it wrong, and Bieniemy grabs Mahomes by the back of his jersey and calls to Walker and walks them off the field.
Yes.
I'm just saying Matt Nagy doesn't have that clout. I guarantee
No.
you, for as long as Matt Nagy was with the team, he never would have grabbed Mahomes by the back of his jersey and redirected him off the field. Guarantee that was never happening.
No. Do you think Bill Belichick and Tom Brady were best friends all the time? Clearly not. We know how that relationship crumbled. You have to have the asshole in the group chat to keep everyone accountable, and Bieniemy is that guy. Nagy was not that guy. And I think here, if we get lucky, if we can get Lamar here, I don't know if we have any stream snipers on here with us right now, but Lamar is clearly the skeleton key to the rest of this team. Do you agree?
I do agree. Now, generally speaking, I would say we should probably try and get lucky, but this team is so cooked if we do not get Lamar Jackson.
Exactly.
My gut
You hate
instinct
this.
there.
You hate this.
No,
Yeah.
I don't hate this. This construction is actually fine. This is actually something I'm noticing about drafting with you and O'Hara and with Cups is that you guys don't have the fear of being locked out of the running back position the way that those of us who are way too into this do, where I'm sitting here looking at this being like, dude, I'm never going to be able to advance this team because I don't have enough running back points. You guys don't have that fear. And I don't know if you are, I don't know if this is like, the Lion Cub is not afraid to go into the bramble push because it's never been poked by the brambles before situation, or if it's, like a Plato's Cave situation where we have actually been fenced in by what we have been shown the last 2 years with running back health, but it's actually, it's fake.
I am. It's the first time I've been called a cub in a long time. I am much more gray in the beard than that. But I will say, when it comes to fantasy football drafts, I've always gone against the grain. And for years, we have pounded the wide receivers early and had those running backs fall.
Now
those
don't you
running backs are getting
famously
pounded
lose
early.
your fantasy football league every single year, Squares?
No, that was the other guy. He's been voted out. This guy doesn't lose. This face had to cancel his family league because people were sick of playing it. And I had to convert to a guillotine
who
league.
Was the guy? Who's the guy who
Zach.
lost all the time? Okay.
Yeah, that was Zach,
Okay.
sadly. R.I.P. No longer in this competition. Mitch went behind my back during the Survivor Challenge and took him out. I get that. A lot of QBs are left here. I'm going to make Rambus really mad if we get one more pick. I'm going to make Rambus really mad. Could I see the running backs, though? Because we do only have Derrick Henry, and I want to make sure Davis doesn't have a – man, I still don't like that block of running backs. Who are the wide receivers available?
I don't either.
Yeah, I'm going with Marv. I'm going with Marvelous Marv.
You know what? So again, I'm between two minds there. Obviously, we could have taken Jaden Daniels or whatever there, and it would have been fine because we would have been done with 2 quarterbacks. That would have been okay. Marv, I think, is fine. This is going to be a very. I wonder what the roster construction tool says. You know what? Generally speaking, because I normally am doing running back heavier builds than this, this is actually, historically speaking, a much better advancing part of the game tree than I'm normally in. Obviously, part of the reason would be for a large chunk of Best Ball Mania history, people have not drafted this way. People have not aggressively drafted running backs. I mean, there would never be. I basically don't ever remember a situation that the normal thing to do would be like what the guy in the 3-hole did here, Bijan, Scadaboo, and Montgomery. Like when I started doing best ball streaming, if you would have taken David Montgomery at 51 with Bijan and Scadaboo, you would have been laughed at. The chat would have been like, this guy has lost his mind. This guy is going to get so buried by the wide receiver avalanche, he will never see the sun again.
And now we're here ready for the running back avalanche, and we have to reach for some of these guys that have the higher floors than we want, but the lower ceilings in order to make the roster construction work. But I just think the power of this team, we play into that power, and we try to go. I hate that Tucker Kraft just went, but we try to build it out from there. I do think Tucker Kraft is going to be TE1. That might be the Green Bay Packer in me showing.
That's a terrible opinion. I'm going to make you take one of Chuba Hubbard or Ramondre.
If that's the case, we're going with Ramondre. I would absolutely go with the actual starter in New England. I love Travion Henderson and the spark plug he can be, but that team is still going to be very much a 60-40 split, and I think Ramondre's getting the 60. But you don't like the Tucker Kraft opinion at all, because I've been fighting for this since I've been in, so you think you can tout.
No, I mean, I think Tucker Kraft is perfectly cromulent where he goes, but there's no way he's outscoring Brock Bowers. None. Zero. Zilch.
He was in the realm of Brock Bowers and Trey McBride the first 6 weeks of the season before he got injured. And I believe this team is going to be even better at passing the ball because they have those Romeo Doubs and Dontavian Wicks targets now funneled to 3 important players rather than trying to make 6 people happy. I think Tucker Kraft has a huge season in Green Bay, especially when it comes to the touchdown metrics that he will get on that team. He's Jordan Love's favorite target in the red zone. I think Tucker Kraft has a chance to be much higher than the 7.4 where he's getting drafted right now.
Now, I don't want to, you know, I'm not trying to dunk too hard on Tony's ball knowledge, but
no, please
do you notice all these guys around Tucker Kraft in yards after catch per reception? Do you notice what position they play?
I fully understand. We love those TE screens. LaFleur loves running those little bubble screens to Tucker Kraft, and he is one of the best in the league at yards after the catch. So if he was a running back, Davis, where would you be drafting him?
I agree. He's very good at it, but he will never, ever in his life, ever again, average over 10 yards after catch per reception. It is like a statistical improbability.
Sure. I'll give you that. But if you put out the stats, even if you take that away, the amount of targets and especially in the red zone he will get those tight end 1 numbers. I'm saying if he was a running back, Davis, where would you draft him? And that's what I'm trying to defend here. And we're 1 pick away, and we got to pick another guy. Oh, I love that.
We're up. Anyone you want.
Kyle Monangai. For the same reason I like the Ramondre Stevenson on the flip side, I don't think DeAndre Swift is long for this world. I'll take Monangai and Ben Johnson's offense for sure.
Sure. I've never really, I never really take Monangai, but that's actually a case of bias that I have not been able to rein in because frankly, one of the things that is sticking in my ranking for Monangai is that I anticipated the Bears adding a running back in the draft. I anticipated them adding a running back in free agency. They didn't do either thing. In fact, their running back 3 is probably a converted wide receiver, Xavier Thomas, who played at LSU. And frankly, I probably just need to change my mind. I probably just need to move Monangai because I'm not even a huge DeAndre Swift guy either. I'm really not. I don't even really think he's that good. Their offensive line is very good. Caleb Williams is I know you're a Packers fan. I'm a big Caleb Williams guy.
Oh,
I'm a big
he's awesome.
Ben Johnson guy.
I hate how good he is.
Hey, all right, there you go. We found some common ground, and you know what? The Baltimore super stack is pretty good. I'm actually into this.
I do have a question about that, though, because we have the Baltimore super stack. We need Lamar to have a good season in order for this team to have a good season. When you're building a best ball team like this, when do you look for that second quarterback? Because if Lamar fails us, we've lost. This team has lost. So when do you start to look for that second quarterback, or you try to fill very much later and try to fill the other pieces of the team first?
On this team, I think it actually makes sense. Like if we get Brock Purdy here, I think it's huge. Because if we just did Darnold as our second quarterback and we are able to get Purdy, is that cool with you?
I love it. Yep.
So if we look at the other players we have, if we just did Darnold and Lamar, it's probably not quite good enough. That probably is not quite enough points. If we do Jacoby and Lamar, that's probably not quite good enough. So it's setting us up for 3 quarterbacks. Obviously, your preference would be when you take a quarterback in round 5 is to only take 2 of them. With Purdy and Lamar, we are perfectly comfortable with just 2 quarterbacks instead of tacking on a third, I think.
Fantastic. Because again, these best ball streets are definitely new to me. I am the redraft dynasty guy, so I would have, tagged Lamar and held him for the entirety of the season, except for the bye week when you get a guy off the waiver wire. But I understand this best ball thinking. Rambus, love the guy to death. Rambus, for those who don't know on this channel, has been was in So You Think You Can Tell, was taken out, is still very much an integral part of this silly little contest we're in. He has been whipping me with a chain to make sure I understand the best ball rules, and so I don't make a fool out of myself in these drafts. And one of them very much is figuring out where these quarterback goes and how to tie them to the team you are on. So I'm excited to get the Lamar part of it, and getting Brock Purdy here I'm perfectly fine with. As for tight end, this is something I have not done in any of these drafts. I've been a big proponent of trying to get one of the top 5 guys because I think there's a big gap after that, and Tucker Kraft is that last guy. When it comes to tight end on your board, Davis, how often are you spending big on a tight end or trying to fill late with a bunch of people?
So I do take a lot of Brock Bowers. I do take a good chunk of Trey McBride. I really like them. I'm slightly above market on Colston Loveland, but Warren, Kraft, Laporta, Fannin, Pitts, not really a part of my strategy, which is honestly like you could totally say that that it's a leak. I actually would be into taking Kittle here or Pitts.
I was looking at Kittle too.
Yeah.
I was looking
But-
at Kittle too.
Okay, whoever. I mean, this
For me,
is a
it's either
slight
Kittle or
ADP
Aaron
value
Jones. For me, it's either Kittle or Aaron Jones because of the running back issues that we have. But I'm fine going with Ramondre and taking Kittle as number one.
No, we'll take Kittle. So
Yeah.
the data is very clear on this, which is that every year the worst bets in fantasy football are the tight end 5 through 10. They're basically the worst price guys. They're generally speaking buoyed up as a result of touchdowns from the year prior. I mean, this is just general. This is not specific, although you could pinpoint specific things here. But the hit rate of top tight end 5 to tight end 12 finishing the year as a top 12 tight end over the last 10 years is sub 40%, which means like true bust, right? That's not even kind of bust. That's true. Like they weren't even usable. Now you could go through all those years and be like, yeah, well, dude, if you were taking Dawson Knox as the tight end 9, that's on you, brother. But I'm saying that if you zoom out from the chart and just say, hey man, I don't know anything more than the numbers know, they're basically the worst bets.
I know you're big on Ferguson, and I'm not going to play into your traits of drafting the third straight team with Ferguson on it, but there is a tight end in that range that I think has as much upside, if not more, and he's a much more popular name. But I love taking Kenyon Sadiq late, and I hope we can add that to this George Kittle team. Do you have any Sadiq on your board?
I quite like Kenyon Sadiq. I take him.
Okay.
I take him a good chunk of the time. Now, if we fade one more pick here and we get, I'm assuming this guy ahead of us is going to take Kyle Pitts, but if he doesn't, we are.
We took him. Okay. Yeah.
We have to take Kyle Pitts here.
Bring him in.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They're saying the chat is into this team, Squares. You are winning over the chat right now.
I'm happy to win over the chat. I'm never reading the chat again, Davis. I don't know how much you've paid attention to the So You Think You Can Tell journey that I've been on, but the reason I failed so bad in the kitchen was twofold, and one of them was paying too much attention to what the chat thought of Tony Squares and trying to please the plebeians that are on their computer keys right now. And I get that. They're what make you, they're what subscribe, they're what give you the streams, what give you the views. Sometimes you got to block out the noise and just do what you do best, and that is talking on this microphone to you. So happy they think I can draft this one. I think the best draft that's ever been drafted was what I did with Blizzy about a week ago on his channel, man. We found like it was glory was being sung behind us, and the light was coming down from the heavens, the team that we put together there. So every once in a while, blind squirrel finds a nut, and that's what we're doing here.
I would say, and this is just more global advice for people who are streaming, particularly in the best ball space. When you have a guest on, you don't need to be reading the chat. You don't need to be pulling chats up unless they're quite good. Probably 80% of my streams are just me. There's no way I'm not streaming 2 hours without reading the chat and pulling the chat up. I can't just be in my basement talking
to yourself.
So so that's my global advice, Tony.
Now, I do want to touch on that because we're playing with another part of the challenge later on as we come upon our pick here. Actually, what's our roster construction look like? We still need to hit that running back room pretty hard, don't we?
We have 2 quarterbacks. We're probably good there. We have 3 running backs. We are certainly not good there. We have 4 wide receivers, one of them being JSN. You could talk me into being done at tight end. However, the later round picks are at tight end are far and away my favorite. I think we have to take Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt here.
I think so too.
This is 25 spots after ADP for him.
Exactly, and that's what you're catching is the fall. Even though I'm a Fat Man Allen guy, I know your boy Jacob is a Rachaad White guy. If we're both wrong and JCM's the starter, this is an absolute steal when it comes to draft position. You have to take him. That's 2 huge falls we've gotten out of Kyle Pitts and JCM. But the question I wanted to ask you is about the solo streams, because I know you're talking to the chat, because I listen to a lot of I'm going to forget his name now, but he talks about how solo radio is the hardest thing to perform when you're just you for 3 hours. hours going straight, whether you have a chat or callers or whatever. Are there any tricks that you have to keep those solo streams, to keep that momentum moving forward?
And do I have any tips or tricks? So honestly, Tony, you're either born with it or you're not. You, obviously you can get better with reps over time, but the ability to just speak off the cup extemporaneously, if you're not naturally, if you don't have the natural inclination to do it, I don't think there's an amount of reps that can get you there. Now, there are reps that can get you from okay to very good, from very good to great, of course. But if you don't have it, you're not going to learn it. And I have it. I mean, it just is what I'm not. I don't even mean that in like a braggadocious way. It's just like God gave me a couple skills, and those were one of the skills that I got. I could talk about it. I could talk to a wall. Like it just is what it is. And we got to make a pick right here.
Do you like your boy Pacheco out in Detroit?
He's fine. I have no strong feelings about Isaiah Pacheco. He's fine.
I like Denzel Boston's chance into Cleveland. I know that's a little bit of a reach on our end, and we do need the running back. So it'd be Pacheco or Boston.
No,
for me.
Boston is totally fine.
I think he's going to be on the field more than Concepcion, actually.
Yeah, I think in terms of doing solo, I mean, I've done solo radio, I've done solo TV, I've done solo streaming, I've done all of it. I mean, sort of what it is, and I'm sure you've experienced this throughout time, is like you have to kind of lose your sense of self and self-consciousness, and you have to just understand that the moment that you were experiencing, the thing that you were doing doesn't really have anything to do with you. Most of the people watching or listening don't even really care about you, the person. They just care about the voice or whatever it is. And they don't want to hear you stumble. They don't want to hear you mumble. Not even everything that you say has to make sense. Not even everything you say has to be true. Let me tell you another little fact, man. You can just make shit up as long as it sounds good, but you can't stop talking. You just have to keep talking. It's more you would rather say something that is absolutely wrong and that you have to correct yourself on later than stumble and mumble and be like, oh well, I'm thinking and I got to remember and I got to say the right thing. Yeah, you just need to be speak. Yeah, and this is actually, it's actually quite good. I mean, it's very, very helpful when you care about what you're talking about, if you find it interesting.
Oh, buddy, I believe you there. And I have lived that myself, having to present stuff and be on camera for stuff that you don't give two Fs about. It's very hard to keep that engaging, keep that going. But I do love how you said, God-given talent. That's absolutely the part of it too, because didn't you title this very stream that we're on, like, these guys think they can tout better than me? So you laid down the challenge line early.
They think they can take my job.
I appreciate that. And, I don't know if I can take Davis Mattek's job, but I do believe that in order to succeed in any business, in any part of life, you have to have that little voice inside of you that says you are the best MFer in the world at this. And whether it's, building houses or painting murals or talking on a microphone, you have to believe you have what it takes to be better than everyone else in order to make that appearance. I am afraid of Charbonnet's knee.
Yeah.
I am also a little bit suspicious. I mean, people love Tank Bigsby in this spot. I do want to go running back. Let's go with Tyler Algier. I do like
Fine by me.
Because I do believe, because the Best Ball Bros love those last 3 weeks of the season, and I don't believe Miami, Arizona, the New York Jets, I don't think they're going to be playing their starters at that point in the season. These teams want to lose at the end of the year in order to get these QBs in the next draft, and Tyler Algier could be a volume back simply because they're saving Jeremiah Love for when the games matter. So I'm good with Algier in this spot.
I mean, follow the money. Tyler Algier got paid 2 years, $12 million with incentives. He is making, this is actually true, you can go look it up, but the length and the amount of money of his contract is 5x what Rachaad White, who's currently being drafted as a running back 37, is making. Tyler Algier is making more money than Keaton Mitchell, who obviously I love to draft. He is getting paid real money. Now, part of that was, I think the Arizona Cardinals didn't actually know if they were going to take Jeremiah Love, so they wanted to have a running back regardless, and they knew that Benson was questionable health-wise, that Connor was questionable health-wise, but yeah, it's a real situation where we're so comfortable following the money with all these other spots. But when Tyler Algier, it's the HR resource meme. It's the hi, how are you doing meme. It's like, oh, 2 years, $12 million for Keaton Missile. Yeah, all in. 2 years, $12 million for Tyler Algier. Hello, human resources. Someone please come and fix this situation.
I fully understand it, and I feel for Tyler Algier. He was my third favorite running back in the free agency class coming out because I was waiting for him to get under the shadow of a generational talent at running back, because the one season we saw in Atlanta without him, he played great, and then he goes and gets Jeremiah Loved all over again. I'm not drafting Deebo Samuel ever, but this is a tough little stretch of
foul.
players.
Why are we not drafting Deebo, man?
Because he's playing for as many NFL teams as me and you combined right now, Davis. He does not have
All
a
right, well,
football field to play on.
We gotta take someone. Who we taking?
Yeah, this is tough. I'll go with Zachariah Branch out of Atlanta. No, I'll go with Jerry Jeudy. Give me Jerry Jeudy. Give me one great hope in Cleveland. We'll get both of those guys, and one of them will work out. Again, I'm not on the KC Concepcion train. I want either Boston or Jeudy if I'm getting a Cleveland pass catcher, and you can't get Fannin.
Now all right, let me explain to you a little bit of something about the game. Here's a way to earn free points with a fantasy football audience. Say something that sounds true that is not falsifiable. So here's something that sounds true that someone couldn't falsify. Dude, when Deebo Samuel signs with whatever team he's going to sign for, could be the Raiders, could go back to the Commanders, doesn't matter. He's going to rise 30 spots in ADP. You know it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. So you might as well draft him now before he gets more expensive. You can't falsify that because he might not ever sign.
Correct.
But when you say it, oh, that's pretty smart, man. He is going to rise, isn't he? So I should take this guy who averaged 11 points per game and looked fat and out of shape last year. I should take a bunch of that guy.
I hear you. But at the same time, when Fantasy Football Palantir comes knocking on Tony Squares' door, I don't want them to see any shred of Deebo Samuel, the free agent, the guy who's eating popcorn on Sundays with me in the stands on my teams. And that's how I feel about Deebo. That's how I feel about Brandon Ayuk. That's how I feel about a couple of these guys. The only one I'm willing to sign is the very last round, and you guys talked about it with Cups at the end of that stream. I love taking Tyreek Hill in that last pick. On the clock, Deebo Samuel's still there?
He's still there. He's still there.
Throw him on the team, Davis. Throw him on the
Come
team.
on.
Because you know why? In 2 months, when Deebo Samuel signs, he's going to rise 30 spots in ADP, and you're going to look like a genius taking him in the 16th round. And I think Deebo Samuel, no matter who he signs, he could be a Green Bay Packer taking snaps away from Matthew Golden. This guy played great last year in Washington, and we're going to look like geniuses taking him right here. Davis, did I do well?
A consummate professional. Professional. Now let me tell you another thing. You want to get the chat on your side? You want to get these urchins on your side? Again, easiest way to do it. Get extreme ADP value on any player. Doesn't matter who it is. It literally doesn't matter. We got extreme ADP value on Pitts, on JCM, on Deebo Samuel. You get that, the chat, dude, they're gonna love it. Dude, look at these values. That guy knows how to draft, dude. When in doubt, if you were ever doing a stream, best ball stream or whatever, and you're losing them, you need to get them back in. Just take a guy 14 spots after ADP, and they're going to be like, "Wow, dude, this guy knows how to draft, man."
Well, now we're in the late round flyer territory. Some of my favorites have just gone off the board. Do you think we need that second tight end, or is it a dead man walking situation?
Well, we have 3 tight ends, and with Kittle and with Pitts, I would take a third tight end. The issue being all the remaining ones suck. So let's do.
You're not an Eli Stowers guy?
I think Eli Stowers is fine. I think we can wait. I think that we should take one of Surratt, Bateman, or Jacoby Lane for the Ravens. So which one did the Warren Sharp preview tell you to take?
Oh, dude, they love Tez Walker over all 3 of them, but I'll take Rachaad Bateman.
Okay, we're
not
Bateman's
taking going to be the proven starter there.
Underdog did give me more site credits this year than they gave me last year, but they didn't give me enough site credits to take Tez Walker. There's an amount of site credits that would be out there for it, but not enough. So now we have got a 2-5-8-2 with Lamar Jackson, Brock Purdy, Derrick Henry, Ramondre, Monangai, JCM, Algier, JSN, Zay Flowers, Mike Evans, Marvin Harrison, Boston, Jeudy, Deebo, and Bateman. I actually think on this team, I think we should take a running back. I think a running back adds more I think a running back adds more than another tight end is going to do for us, I think.
And then when you're looking at this, so if you're in this situation, I'll ask you, because you could go with a RB2 and hope for that injury bug to get hit, like a Ray Davis in Buffalo, or do you go for a guy that might be the starter, might be getting more reps than people think, like a George Holani in Seattle? Where do you sort of take your stab? Or do you go with a rookie guy that might be the starter?
I would never take George Holani.
Neither would I.
I'm anti Holani. I think I'm honestly, selfishly, what I would do with this team is I would take Kamani Vidal here. One, because he might just earn some reps when we need him. But two, it is a way for me to get some exposure to another Los Angeles Charger that is not Keaton Mitchell.
For you, Davis, I'm down to take Vidal, even though he's got no shot of seeing the field and will likely be cut in August. I will gladly take Vidal on this team as the last pick for sure.
All right. I have not done very many teams with just 2 quarterbacks and 2 tight ends. And in this economy, Tony, it is just very hard to it's hard to advance teams when you only have 2 quarterbacks and 2 tight ends. You just on average, you just lose. Like third quarterback on average adds about 15 points to your roster. Third tight end adds about 10 points to your roster on average. So we are starting out 35 points in the hole, which is not an insurmountable.
But you're telling me a guy like Jacoby Brissett or a guy like Pat Freiermuth is going to add those points to my roster?
Yes, that is. It sounds insane, but that is literally what I'm telling you. Like, okay, just imagine. So this is his game logs from last year. So just imagine in
great
week
end of
9,
the season.
Imagine week 9, Lamar gets 16 points. They have a blowout victory. Lamar gets 16, and Brock Purdy stubbed his toe, so Brock Purdy didn't play that week, right?
Poor Brock.
Jacoby Brissett just kept us. Jacoby just kept us alive
on the level.
It is one of the most non-intuitive things about best ball compared to redraft. It really is. It doesn't feel like taking David Njoku, taking Pat Freiermuth, taking Evan Ingram. It doesn't feel right, but it's just one of the things that
just mathematically, statistically, it's going to work out that way. So if that's the case,
in the aggregate, right? Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. No. Can I ask a question? And if we're real quiet about it and the chat doesn't need to hear it, then why the fuck do we take Deebo Samuel?
Well, we took Deebo Samuel because Deebo is going to add, he's going to add, 20, 25 points to our roster. On average, we got him at 187. We feel good.
We got value on him.
We feel good about Deebo.
I'm happy one of us feels good about Deebo.
This is a good, Tony, we drafted a good team. This is honest to goodness. This is a good team. Now, before we escort you out of here and let Mr. PPR Tyler on the program, is there anything you would like to impart to the chat? Any questions you would like to ask? You've got a couple of minutes here.
Yeah, well, first off, welcome back to the game, PPR Tyler. Very happy to see him back. Very happy to see Emo stick up for his tower friend and bring him back into the contest. Thrilled to be in this contest, genuinely, because now that we're down to 5 and I'm back in LA, I feel like I can actually get to be back in the pit and fight with these guys. So excited about it. Davis, you've been watching from afar. I saw you guys did the Calcutta early. You've been waiting to be a judge. Not asking your opinions on any of the final 5 people, but how have you enjoyed what Peter's built here with this crazy idea of a fantasy, a reality show involving 130 applicants whittling down throughout the summer? Have you enjoyed the watch?
Yeah, I have loved Peter, dedicating his entire summer to getting the Toxic Tower, like 400 more YouTube subscribers. I think it's been a really good use of Peter's time, energy, and money. And I really hope that Tyler, BBG, and Mr. Emo Cowboy send him like a nice gift basket or whatever for all the work he's done for their personal brand.
Hey, man, they deserve it. As much as I've fought with them on the side, they stream as much as anybody, and they go after it every single day. They definitely put the work in when it comes to the best ball world, so good for them for getting that little signal. If you had to run a little So You Think You Could Tell reality TV style show, how would you build yours? Would you want to look for the best tout? Would you want to look for the best statistician? I heard you and Cups going into the weeds on the nerd graphics there. Like, what would you want to look for if you had to find a buddy for your channel?
A buddy for my channel. Frankly, what I would love for a buddy on my channel is just someone who had the same work hours as I did and was always available to hop on and do a good job for 45 minutes to take the pressure off of me. Not the pressure, but let me tell you, there are some days when I come down and I start to stream and I'm like, yeah, man, I'm good. I just like, I don't want to do this, but you got to fire it up because that's your job. And you got to do what has to be done, Mr. Squares.
It's
yeah.
aggressive. Yeah, I feel you, buddy. I've been in these TikTok and Instagram streets for the past 5 years, making a video every single day, and it's been a blast. It's led me to a lot of great things, but sometimes you want someone else to make the video for you. I get it completely. Another thing I want to say is for the fantasy football world, like this community, what I've noticed is how many people Peter is getting to come in and judge these things. You guys all seem to have some type of a relationship with each other, whether you've worked with the past, worked in together now. Like, how did that all come to be? Was it all like, has it all just been you've put stuff out there so much that you've interacted online enough to build stuff together?
I mean, I'll let you go out on this and you can think about the strange world that you have ended in. This is how I ended up here. And this is how Peter and I know each other. I've been on a long running show called the Swolecast for over like 12 years now. You became very familiar with that last week. About
I didn't know it was 12 years
ago.
God damn.
Oh, long time. About 8 years ago, Peter on this YouTube channel did a bit where he did effectively a parody of the Swolecast where he played all of us as a character, and what it functionally ended up being was an audition to be the fourth host because Evan Silva used to be on the show. Evan Silva is no longer on the show. We brought on Peter as the replacement, and that is how we ended up here. Long road to hoe, but that's how it happened.
Impressions get the people going. Got that. I'll write that down in the notes.
People love to see impressions and parodies of things that they know and understand. Yes. Yeah.
Good to know.
That's the case. All right, Mr. Squares, we're gonna send you on your way. Do you want the people to follow you on TikTok?
Yeah, man. At Tony Squares on TikTok and Instagram. We're gonna have the Tony Squares NFL channel YouTube coming up very shortly to stream live on Thursday for this challenge there. But thank you again, Davis. This was a blast.
All right. Thank you to Mr. Squares. And now we are going to bring on a man who better have some shit to say. Welcome on one Mr. PPR Tyler of the Toxic Tower. GM, sir.
Thank you for having me on. Let's get after it, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, you're lucky, man. You're lucky. I almost told Pete. I said, you're bringing PPR Tyler back. I'm out.
What did I do to you?
I don't even honestly, Tyler. I don't even know. They came into my chat and they said you were talking shit, and I said, all right, I'll remember.
I would say you kind of have to watch the clip. It was like, it was the night of, the decision where I was off the show, and I was, a little hashtag emotional, and then you were popping off on Twitter, and really it had nothing to do with you. I was projecting is what it was. So I will say that.
I need to say this. I didn't watch this episode, but I need you to know that if you had your feelings hurt for 1 second about being sold out by your boy, you have to know that you get out of the universe what you put into it. You couldn't have possibly been upset about that happening to you.
I was not mad that he voted me off. In the moment I found out, because I wasn't watching live. I was at football. We had a football scrimmage, and which we got our ass kicked in. And I just texted in the group chat, and I was like, "Am I off the show?" Because I seen the notifications, and then in our tower group chat, and Emo goes, "Yes," and I was like, "Honestly, that's fine." Wasn't mad about it. Then I watched it, and I saw BBG call me a subsect of his tree, and then that's what really pissed me off.
No, that is really funny. That is really funny. That's really funny of him. That's a good bit. So how can you be mad at a good bit?
I see. The problem was in my delusional mind, I think he actually meant it. when I'm the one that found him when he had 3 subscribers trying to defeat Twitter CAPTCHA. All right. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna be. It's I don't have a strong take here, but I always just seem to kind of just go Christian McCaffrey over Jonathan Taylor. Did you see the video of him making the rounds today of him training and it was like he was doing some obscure training stuff. And I was like, yes, I'm in on this. It was great.
CMC or Jonathan Taylor?
CMC. He was doing like some because he's like probably the closest to LeBron in terms of like a guy that's gonna spend the time and money on his body. I think CMC is like the 101 for that kind of guy. And obviously, like if I told you that CMC was going to play 17 games this year, 100%. I mean, he's like a top 3 pick, is he not?
I mean, I think he's probably the top 1 pick.
Exactly. So like, I don't know. I'm never one to like bet on injuries. He was great last year. Really no problems. I think the O-line, if the O-line can stay healthy or we can get a better product from them this upcoming season, then I think he's going to run better because he didn't even break 1,000 yards rushing last year and he played 17 games. So I don't know. I'm just really in on CMC in that range. I'm not going to, try and predict injuries. So I'm good with CMC there.
CMC was prime Keenan Allen and 2025 Kareem Hunt in the same guy. You got the stats. You got the same stats in one slot.
Yeah.
All right, bro. We're up. Sadly, Barkley went, so we are in the worst range of the draft. Who are we taking?
Let's go receiver. Let's go Drake London.
Fine by me. I do not have very much Drake London. I know. Howard, a Falcons fan. You're like the first time I've ever met a Falcons fan in real life. I didn't even know they existed. You have like real opinions on Tua.
Yeah, no, 100%. Drake London is I just think he's a very, very good receiver. He's obviously the only guy there outside of Kyle Pitts. And I draft the Falcons. Like I'm one of those guys like you who, I don't get how people can be fans of teams and just like not just see the absolute best case scenario for the guys that like I'm a diehard Falcons fan. So obviously like if I see Drake London, I'm just going to click him. I'm not like overly confident that he's going to be the wide receiver 1, but I mean, he's the only guy there really worth catching passes outside of Kyle Pitts. And obviously, if you include Bijan too, we'll see how the new coaching staff uses him because he got a lot of slot reps last year with Robinson. So I don't know. He's a really good receiver. He's in a good offense. And I think, Tua can do enough to, propel him to a top 7 or 8 fantasy season, top 5, hopefully.
Are you battening down the hatches? Are you checking the news every single day? The wars, Tua, Penix, like who's starting? God damn, dude, Flowers, like it's just unbelievable. This guy.
I just don't have any strong takes here. Let's week 17 it up. Let's just go Olave because I'm fine. I don't love Achane or Kyron Williams, so I'm fine just going week 17, Atlanta, New Orleans. But no, as far as the Tua Penix stuff is like, it's not even an everyday thing. Like every beat report you see, every guy who like gets paid to talk about the team, it's Tua. I think I've made this argument 1,000 times, especially with the Superflex stuff that I do, where Tua is like my most drafted quarterback by far, where people want to just do I call it lazy analysis, where it's like, oh, like Penix is, Tua is bad. He'll start the year. And then obviously Penix will be starting week 17. Like, is it that obvious? Like Tua is definitely, he's going to be the week 1 starter. That is unquestioned. That's going to happen. He's just operating from a better, sense of grace with the coaching staff. He fits what they want to do better, ball out on time, very accurate. He's always been kind of known as like this training camp QB, but like this is a good offense. The O-line is probably the best he's ever had in his career. The defense is also good. Like it's not like it's the Falcons are not an awful team. They're probably like average at best, but it's like the offense would have to play really bad with guys like Drake London, Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, how good the O-line is, what we think the play calling is going to be. Like, is Tua going to play that bad to where he's going to get benched? Like, the team also has to be bad too. So you're trying to say that, okay, yeah, Tua's playing bad and the team sucks. Now we might see Michael Penix. So I don't know. And it's as far the injury thing is obviously like what people talk about too. But again, I'm not going to try and predict injuries. He played all 17 games last year. Or I guess he didn't play all 17, but it wasn't because he got hurt. So I'm fine with Tua.
Yeah, dude, they made us watch Quinn Ewers last year. That's how aggressively bad he was. We were force fed Quinn Ewers last year. That's how bad he was, bro.
The team was bad, but the team sucked. The team was awful. The Falcons are not as bad of a team as the Dolphins were last year. All right, let's go. God damn it,
dude. I mean, this is a 8-pick value on Ibuka.
Yeah, go with Ibuka. Let's go NFC South. That's fine. I'll go with Ibuka.
What's your biggest player take this year? I don't know the tower exposures well enough.
Yeah.
What's the guy that they're like, okay, if this guy smashes, it's my year, bro.
Well, obviously, I heard you. I heard you talking shit about Coker in a couple streams ago. That one kind of sent me.
I'm not talking shit. It's just like it's impossible for me to have a strong opinion about the fucking wide receiver 3 on the Panthers.
Yeah. I would say so. It's a newer one because I've been writing some articles and I wrote an article about this guy, but Parker Washington. That was another thing you were talking about earlier. Like, you come ready with a Parker Washington take. Like, I've been ready with this one, and I just feel so confident because the thing with Parker Washington, it's like he's a day 3 pick. Like, people are just scared that it's not real, and I think we saw a lot last year to suggest that it actually is in fact real, especially from an explosive play standpoint. This guy he had 18 explosive plays last year, and BTJ had 12 in his rookie season with the Jags, where he was like undoubtedly like, just God. And then he had 12 again last year. Like, Parker Washington had 18, and he wasn't the starter until week 9 when Travis Hunter went out with that ACL. And I don't know. I just think there's a lot of other like just deep explosive play stuff with him where I think he's undoubtedly going to be the wide receiver 1 this year. I'm drafting him straight up over BTJ. Here it's Quinshawn. It's not even close.
Quinshawn, it's not even close, he says.
Yeah. That's another one where if Quinshawn has a good year, it's going to be a good year for me. I've talked about this a ton, but I'm a big bet on talent guy. I like, obviously, situation matters, and I get that, but like, I still think Quinshawn's situation is pretty good, and situations change too. Like, I love looking for the upside, and it's like, because if you get the talent, I feel like the talent piece of it is so harder to get right than like trying to predict, like for example, your guy Tuten. Like, there's not even a thought in my mind I would ever take Bashal Tuten over Quinshawn Judkins when he's not even half the player that Quinshawn Judkins is, in my opinion. I think Quinshawn Judkins is a way more talented player. They're obviously in the same draft class. Quinshawn's a 2nd-round pick. Bashal Tuten's a day 3 pick. And it's like they're both the number 1s on their team. Yeah, the Jags offense is better, but it's like their competition is more or less, the same. I think Quinshawn Judkins definitely has a better goal line role. He's a better runner. And, if Cleveland is just like fine, he's going to be an awesome pick. No one doubts that Quinshawn is good. It's like, can Cleveland figure something out? It's like, I don't think it's crazy to say that they can just be fine on offense.
Are they going to be fine on offense, though?
That's what I'm saying. Like we said that about the Colts last year. It's like, oh, like the fucking Colts are going to suck.
Gotta have the 2 down back on the Browns. You gotta have it, dude. You gotta have the 2 down back on the Browns.
He's a better pass catcher than like Nick Chubb. Like, what are we talking? People are talking about like he's like Derrick.
Is he a better pass catcher than Dylan Sampson, bro?
Well, obviously, Dylan Sampson, that's more of his skill set. But it's not to say that he cannot catch passes. All right, yeah, Parker Washington here. What are we talking
Are we taking P-Wash?
Yeah, let's go P-Wash. No stacks here available yet. I mean, that is the one thing that's nice is our QBs are all kind of later stacking guys.
Dog shit.
Wait, so it's up. Shook is fine. But like, I'm looking at this right now. If our team ends up Lawrence, Baker, Shuck, like, is that the worst QB room in the world? I think that's totally fine.
Yeah. I mean, look, whatever. I mean, we could have taken Drake May there or whatever. Taking Parker Washington there is fine. I don't think Parker Washington is a very good pick, but he also is probably a better pick than Quentin Johnson at 70.
Yeah. Hey, you work for Flock now. Are you allowed to talk bad about Quentin Johnson?
I don't work for Flock. I'm an independent contractor, and I can say whatever I want about QJ.
That's my bad. There's no way I could possibly comprehend this business shit,
Obviously, dude, I told you to start reading books, and the chat has reliably informed me that you have not.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, Dave. To give you some props, you're using a lot of big words on stream today. So I was thoroughly impressed. I noticed.
You'd be less impressed if you read more books. You'd be like this guy doesn't know shit. He just says big words to make people think he sounds smart, when in reality he's just a dipshit like me.
I'm too busy watching Thinking Football YouTube videos so I can learn more about Tyler Shuck and how he projects for year 2. All right, let's go. Shit. I think it's just Lawrence here. Just go Trevor Lawrence. Stack it up. We're finding up running back.
Are you sure, brother?
Who do you want?
Ramondre or Lemon?
No, Lemon. No, we're fine. Lemon's fine, but like we already got 4 receivers. Let's get the QB. You were talking about how bad our QBs are going to be in this team. This is a great.
We should have taken Ramondre there.
Why do you want Ramondre? I actually don't like drafting running backs in this range. Like Chuba, Warren's fine. If I'm going to draft a guy, I'd probably Warren over Ramondre. Ramondre's fine. Like I'll take him if like I absolutely hate my life. But
who is your quantitative Who is your quant? Who's your quantitative? Who are you relying on for number crunching?
For no, I don't think I don't know if you've noticed. I don't draft off numbers.
That's why I just asked you who your quantitative is.
I don't have one. I don't have a quant. No,
all right, guys.
I have no yang. No yang.
We gotta find you a quant. Also, another thing we need you to do. I'm giving you an assignment, Tyler.
All right, let's hear it.
Next time that I stream with you or watch the Toxic Tower or whatever, I need you to have this window to your left. I need you to have this window covered or a blackout curtain, and I need you to have that lamp turned off. I need you to have a light on the wall, and I need you to have a ring light on top of your computer.
Okay, you trust me, Davis? No one has tried to play around with this lighting thing more than I have. Like, I'm very limited in what I can do, because if I want to, bring a girl back here, this is the only place that I can have this set up and have it not look like absolute shit. The windows are. Okay. Let's make this pick here, and I'll rant about my lighting situation here in a minute. QB good. We're good. Shit. Let's go Harvey then. I don't love it, but let's go. There's no one else. I like Ricky, but I think we're fine at receiver. Let's go
Harvey was definitely the pick there.
Yeah. Okay. So like the window is huge here. It's a big window. It's a big window. Like it's not a small window. I can't just like put a blackout shade on this window. That's just not something that's not going to happen.
Hey,
so
it's just I thought you wanted to win. I thought you wanted to win the contest. Hey man, I'm trying to help you, but if you're comfortable letting Emo just like easily ship the contest, fine.
Emo has a house and he works for NASA. Like obviously his setup, yeah. And I have a ring light. It's just like not very bright. Like it's like $5, but I do have a ring light. You just like I don't know. Should I can put the shades down. Should we see if that fixes anything?
No, because you're not gonna have the right lighting elsewhere to set it up. I'm just telling you, dude. Like for the people who don't know you, don't give a shit about this contest. They're just like they're going through YouTube one night. They're in bed. You're just like, I don't know, I'm going to put something on the background while I draft the team. They're going to click on, or they're probably not going to click on one of your thumbnails, but they're going to come through and they're going to be like, why the fuck can't I see this guy's face? What's going on?
I did change the thumbnail slightly after you criticized me. I do need to just like get in the lab. So do you think I should start putting my face on the thumbnail?
Honestly, I kind of vacillate in like even for my own stuff. I vacillate like, should I put my own face on? I'm actually in the middle of testing that right now. My guess is probably no. My guess is that at like our level of success, who do you want to take here?
Ricky, what's that? What pick are we at?
We are at pick 102.
Let's go Ricky. Let's go Ricky.
Fine by me. I would say in general, you probably just do player's face, 3 words. You definitely, I tell you what, you don't need to do this. BBG doesn't need to do this. All you guys got to stop doing this. Let me tell you the number one thing that you guys got to stop doing. You got to stop putting the screenshot of whatever underdog contest you were drafting in the thumbnail. No one cares, bro. I don't care. You don't care. Your audience doesn't care.
Looks, in my defense, I did that. Like I try to make it look good though. Like it's color coordinated and like I think it looks. I get what you're saying though. I totally understand that. I just need to. You know what? I do need to work on the thumbnail piece of it. I've come a long way from where we started. So I just need to.
What do you use Canva? What do you use?
Yeah, I use Canva.
Yeah, bro. I mean they're a little bit better. Now, none of us need to be doing what Flock is doing. Flock is operating on a different level.
I saw him make that switch one day. I saw him make that switch one day. I was like, I was like, is this what's in now? And then I thought about it, I was like, he could post nothing. It could be like the caption of a camera and it looks he's gonna get 10K views.
He can do nothing. He can make the title whatever. But I'll tell you after. Okay, we're gonna make this pick, and then I'll tell you what to do.
All right, give me the secret ingredients, please. Oh, Baker.
Yeah, Baker. Yeah. So this is what I did to arrive on mine is I had Claude download a bunch of data from other people's YouTube channels and then download the thumbnails and then analyze them and see, okay, this worked, this didn't work. These are the things that all the successful channels are doing. These are all the things that non-successful channels are doing, and then just have it tell you what to do.
Gotcha. Did you put my YouTube channel in there for the non-successful channels?
No.
Okay. Just wondering.
I had it look at the fantasy footballers, Sal Vetri, Mason, Fantasy Pros, Peter, couple of, I don't even remember all of them. And then I just said, like, what is the unification? What is the thing that works? Super simple. Set it up as a template so you can just go and redo it every single day. It doesn't have to be a big part of your work. Also, yes, if you don't know how to use Claude or ChatGPT, it will make stuff up on you. The way I have it set up, I'm pretty confident it's not making stuff up, but I spend a lot of trial and error to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I need to get better versed in AI. That's one thing I'm just not even remotely locked in on at the moment. So
for a lot of people, there's no reason to use it ever. But if you're trying to be a solo content creator, it's very, very helpful. I think we got to take Shuck here.
Yeah, or one pick. Shuck, go Shuck. Yep, there we go. See, exactly what I said was going to happen ended up happening. This is great. This
team is fine. But hey, I just want to see all of you guys succeed. And when I started, Pete gave me some advice, guys helped me out, but like a lot of it is just like iterating and learning on your own. And now that there's something to bounce off of in terms of like you can test things, it's just very nice.
Yeah. I don't know. I appreciate the feedback. I mean, I feel that's kind of how you level up in really anything that you do. It's like you think you're doing something well, but can kind of always be better. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that's the big thing. Okay, what are you using? What's LLM? I don't know.
Don't, man. Oh, dude, you're playing right into Sack Sands.
I don't know that. Okay, so we're not doing this whole sack thing again. All right, it's. I don't know if he got me on the stream I had him on, but
he did get you.
I'm not gonna do this thing. I'm not doing this again, bro. I'm not gonna go over what my point of that stream was. And I felt like he was truly tiptoeing around some of the shit. It's like, dude, tell me how the fucking thing works. And he kind of did, but he also didn't. No tools for me. Or no sidekick for me. I will be making my own picks. I can think for myself. All right. Oh, no tight ends here. That's unfortunate.
No, we are absolutely chilling at tight end.
Well, we're not. I'll tell you what we're not going to have is fucking worst pick on the board, Charlie Kolar.
Oh, what do you?
I'm McMillan here, dude. I like McMillan over Hunter personally. I absolutely love Jalen McMillan.
What about Tracy or Marks?
See, here's the thing. I like the guys we're going to get on the next turn here. So let's go McMillan. This is exactly how I like building my team, where it's like we can go 7 receivers because we kind of hit it in the mid rounds where it matters, and then we can like tack on these just high upside guys like Tank, like B-Rob. Like honestly, you can even float Tucker in there, and I could be convinced. I mean, he said each of the past 2 seasons he had a 30-point game. So yeah, I like doing like the first 3 guys, really good for season long projection. Give me the high upside swings like after in that range of Tanks and B-Robs.
That's fine. I mean, I'm not big on Jalen McMillan, but I'm letting you guys drive the ship today. It's not me.
Why don't you like Jalen McMillan?
He's like 1.5 yards per route run for his career. Igbuka is probably way better than him. Godwin is probably going to be more healthy than last year. I actually quite liked Ted Hurst as a prospect.
Yeah. Ted Hurst is fun. He's good prospect, but like Jalen McMillan, he came back from a neck injury after not practicing all year. He comes back in the middle of the season and it's like, hey, Emeka Egbuka, you're killing it right now, but go fucking sit on the bench because I'm back.
Except he wasn't killing it. He was injured. He was banged up.
But he's still like he's like, yeah, you're not gonna be on the field anymore though. Like you're off. It's McMillan's back. You're off the field now. Like that's how it played out.
That is not even close to how it actually.
That is exactly how it played out. I mean, yeah, he was playing through an injury, but like he's still like we saw his snaps drastically decline. I'm not saying that's gonna happen this year. I'm just saying what happened last year. The click is strange here. 100%. That's got to be.
Got to take Nate Borkatur's back up at pick 150.
No,
brother.
don't. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. I don't even know.
Terrence Ferguson or Charlie Kolar, brother.
Ferguson. It's not even, I'm in lockstep with you on Ferguson. I think we've been actually pretty in lockstep on a lot of our tight end takes are actually, other than Kolar, are pretty similar because we were both in on Fannin last year. I think I replied to one of your Sadiq Stowers take you had pre-draft this year. And then I'm also very, very in on Ferguson. So
Neil Farley joins the show. Emotional.
That's just a bit. That's a bit though. That's
no,
like,
you're learning. You're learning. That's not bad.
That's
not bad. There's a chance. There's a chance. What you need to be thinking every time you are making a title or a thumbnail is what are the odds someone who doesn't already know who I am watches this for more than 30 seconds.
Okay. I'll take that under advisement.
That's the question.
I've been trying to do that lately. When I'm solo streaming, it's mostly like whoever's on the thumbnail, like it'll be like, let's just go and pick a guy from our team, Parker Washington. Why Parker Washington's the wide receiver 1 or something like that. That's not good though. You don't think that
No,
plays?
that's fine. That's fine.
I don't know. It's something like that. And usually I don't even talk about it, which is, I don't know. You think that's important? Talking about what's in your thumbnail?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So would you suggest doing that like the first like 10 minutes then? Like, because if I mention an hour in, probably no one sees it.
So a lot of what I do is I will title the video like I don't know. I'll be like, "Did you know?" And then it'll be Dalton Schultz on the thumbnail, and I'll start it out as I'm making my first pick. I've been thinking about drafting backwards, and Dalton Schultz is blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So then you get into the draft, and then there's like an immediate like I start my streams like as I'm making my first pick. Like someone who's watching video on demand, they don't have to wait. The click is it's there right away. All right, we got to take.
Oh, I think we'll RB here. Let's go Algier. I think we skip over Juwan, unfortunately, but I think skipping Juwan is fine. Yeah, love Algier.
You could do it like are you smarter than PPR Tyler? Did I read a book today?
Okay, come on now. You think someone who hasn't seen my stream, if it's just like Parker watched it on the thumbnail, did I read a book today? Is the title? You think people are clicking on that?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. There. I would say there is a 500% greater chance that someone who doesn't know who you are is going to click one that says, "Did I read a book today?" versus drafting for $200,000 in the poodle.
I don't know. I'm not even. I'll say it. I'm just kind of like out on books right now in my life. I'm just kind of out. I'm just, like when I'm at GNC and I'm sitting there waiting to sell NutriBio to the 15th person that fucking walks in. I'm out there. I'm grinding fantasy football articles or I'm drafting fucking teams. I'm not going to sit there and read 7 healthy habits of whoever the fuck.
Well, you don't need to be. You definitely do not need to be reading that slop. Like you definitely young men do not need to be reading high performance slop. That much is for sure.
Right.
Okay. You could read a Goggins book or whatever, but you definitely don't need to be reading the 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. That is not what is going to get you where you need to go.
Yeah, maybe if I end up winning the show, I'll get rid of the football stuff, get rid of all that. Me and people just have a weekly book club channel where we both read a book and then we just come back and discuss our in-depth thoughts on whoever Socrates or whoever. All right,
Socrates name pull. That really good. That's I'm proud of you for that.
All right, there we go.
That was good. That was good work right there.
We're on the right track. God damn it, you son of a bitch. God, I fucking hate Jonah Coleman. I hate him so much.
Let's take Dylan Sampson then. Oh no,
we have Judkins.
We can't.
Please go. Yeah. You like Kamara or do you want just hit running back tab real quick? Go Emmett. Go Emmett.
I don't mind Emmett John. I mean, a little early, but Fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I like him more. I'm just looking for upside down here. I'm looking for upside, and Coleman doesn't do it for me. I like Samson, but we have Judkins, and then Kamara doesn't do it for me either. Like if Walker gets hurt, I mean, Emmett Johnson's the best runner on that team. Like he's the one who's like the most likely to get the 15 carries a week if Walker goes down.
Yeah, I mean, he's Amari DiMercato is just Samaj P. Ryan or whatever on this team. Like like if you need 6 points in week 14 to get your team across the finish line, Amari DiMercato better bet to get those 6 points. But if you need more points than that, yeah, Emmett Johnson much better.
What's our build right now? Can I just let me look at this real quick.
This is our team. We have a 3-5-6-1, Trevor Lawrence, Mayfield, Shuck, McCaffrey, Judkins, RJ Harvey, Tyler Algier, Emmett Johnson, Drake London, Chris Olave, Emeka Egbuka, Parker Washington, Ricky Pearsall, Jalen McMillan, and Brenton Strange.
Okay.
So probably Cotton and then one more tight end after that.
Yeah. 100%. I like to get tight end before we have to. There's nothing more I hate in underdog drafts than taking a round 18 tight end. It is like I cannot stand it. There's no good names down there. There's not one that's going to matter in fantasy football. Like
they are all gone now. Like now that you can't get Dulcich and T Ferg and stuff in round 18, yeah, it's over.
Yeah.
All right. We can just take Kate Otten here. It's boring, but man,
or do we take the guy? Do we go Terrence Ferguson? Do we care about the stack that much? We're stacked up enough, and it's still correlation.
Man, everyone did their homework today. That's for sure.
This is like I guarantee you, if you pull their exposures and you pull mine, like I will actually stand on what the fuck I have.
You could do this. You could do every stream you do. You could do an "Are you smarter than the fifth grade?" segment. That could be a hit.
Yeah. I feel like that. I do hate that. Like, because am I going to sit here and be like, say here I scored a 32 on my ACT? No, but I do kind of regret that I played into like the absolute dumbest guy in the best.
You can't because you can't undo it. You can't. Yes, because you can't undo it. You can't like, I've been there many times. There are many bits I wish I could take back, but guess what? Once they become the bit, it's over, brother.
Yeah, but
there's just nothing you can do.
It's fine, but it's like I would ask those people. It's like, PPR is fucking dumb. Well, I'm fucking locked. Like I said, I got the not famous, but the clip that we had with Sanderson where I said, "Fuck them kids. The only thing I care about is ball, and that's the only thing." It's like, can those same people tell me where Josh Oliver went to college? No, they can't. So fuck them.
Damn, you might have got me right there. I don't. Oh, I just got
third round pick. So day 2 pick.
Oh wow, damn dude.
I think I know. I think it
is.
Wait, we're on the clock. Let's go.
Freiermuth.
Yes, Freiermuth. Yes.
We got it. We got to have 3 tight ends.
I think should I say? You want to say it first, or should I say it first?
I believe it is a Big Ten school.
No, I think it's like a group of 5 school.
I think it is Minnesota State.
It's definitely not Minnesota State. I would know if he was Minnesota State. I think it's San Jose State.
Josh Oliver. San Jose State Spartans.
Bang! Let's go. Let's fucking go. Thielen is Mankato State. It's Minnesota State's Mankato State, but yeah.
It's easy not to read in a dark room. Tell you, man, this neon light that I have back there changed my whole shit up. It's like $40 off Amazon.
Okay.
Change the whole look. Like go look at one of my streams from a year ago. You're like, that looks like ass, dude. What are you doing? Your background's terrible.
I put an LED bulb in the lamp behind me just like, is this going to look better? And it did not look better. I can change it on my phone. It did not look better. No.
All right.
Fine though.
We have a 3-5-6-3.
Yeah.
What would you like to do with our final pick?
I like the Denver guys a little bit. You just taking a swing on either Franklin or Bryant. I usually tend to just click Franklin. I mean, he had 700 yards last year. It's like I feel like he's, Obviously, I think Waddle might take away some of the stuff that he did so well for them last year. Because I mean, it was like it's Sutton, you got Bryant, and then it's Mims, and it's like Franklin kind of did feel like the deep threat guy. Where I think Waddle may be that a little bit more this year. It's never Ayuk. I like Brazel. I won't do Xavion just for a bit. Well, we can hang on that.
Oh, I like Xavier Thomas.
We can do Xavier Thomas. I also been clicking Dotson. I know it's an Atlanta thing, but like, I think
okay, all right, hey man, I'll do anything, but I won't do that.
I think he's gonna play more snaps than Branch this year. Like by a large margin, he's gonna play more snaps than Branch this year.
All right, choose your Tyreek.
No. Oh, see, I have some for that in a minute. Let's go Pat Bryant because I mix it up a little bit. Let's go Pat Bryant. I think it's a fine pick, All
right, Tyler.
Where do you go to school?
You have to. Pat Bryant went to Illinois.
Yes, sir.
You need to vamp for 45 seconds because I have to go kill a spider for my wife. So recap the team.
Kill the spider. All right. Oh God, I'm terrible at recapping the team from this format. We started. See, I don't even know. We went CMC, Drake London, and Egbuka. See, I don't even know the rest of it, but. Hey guys, if you're watching right now, make sure you drop a like on the channel, guys. If you are watching and you have not liked the channel, what are you doing? Like the goddamn stream. Make sure you drop a sub as well. This guy is, he no more State Farm. He is fighting tooth and nail to make fantasy football YouTube a thing. So make sure you go down there, drop a sub, drop a like, and then check out Flock Fantasy, man. All the cool stuff you're seeing on the screen right now, the player exposures, the combinations, those cool little ADP graphs that he keeps pulling up. Absolutely awesome stuff going on over at, again, Flock Fantasy. Use code Davis for a certain percentage off. I'm not sure what the code is, how much you make, but
I don't even know. I don't even know.
You don't know how much if they use code Davis, you don't know how much they get off?
I think it's 30%.
Okay. All right.
I did. I left you on the wrong screen. It's
bad. Okay. It's fine. I couldn't remember. It was at the top. I get like the first 3 rounds, I think.
Trevor Lawrence, Baker Mayfield, Tyler Shuck, CMC, Quinshawn Judkins, RJ Harvey, Tyler Algier, Emmett Johnson, Drake London, Chris Olave, Emeka Egbuka, Parker Washington, Ricky Pearsall, Joe McMillan, Pat Bryant, Brent Strange, T. Ferg, Pat Freiermuth.
This team is fine. I like this team a lot.
This team.
We had some good correlation here. No one. Are we out on week 17 now? Is week 17 just done? No one cares about it anymore?
Yeah, everyone only cares about the Sims.
Yes.
We learn the same lesson from Best Ball Sims that we learned from DFS Sims, which is that people are way too fancy and that week 17 and correlating these things just doesn't really matter that much. And you just got to try and get as many projected points into one lineup as possible. And that's just how she goes.
Yeah. Well, I heard you talking about obscure jerseys earlier. So I was like, oh, what's the most obscure one I have? I got a Mizzou Drew Lock jersey.
Mizzou Drew Lock is pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. All right, we're about to bring in your compatriot, Mr. Emo Cowboy. What is the last thing? Do you have a question you would like to ask? What you got like 2 minutes here. Floor's yours.
I don't know. I would say because obviously, like, how much do you think the thumbnails like if you had to do like a pie chart, thumbnails and lighting and then actual like on-air talent, and then you just work at the like showing up every day. What is that pie chart that you think leads to fantasy football or success on YouTube? Because I would argue the most important thing is probably streaming every day at the same time. Or no?
Streaming every day at the same time is less important than getting people to click in the first place.
Okay.
Sorry, it just is the way it is. Like,
all right.
Like I was just telling this to Cups, but like if you brought in Mr. Beast's thumbnail guy and title guy, you would do so much better than figuring it out on your own. Obviously, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you suck at it. Like if you're bad at talking, you're bad at streaming, it's not entertaining, whatever. But all the little margins around the edges, the lighting, the thumbnail, the title, having your face displayed on the right board, blah, 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 blah. All that all adds up to a huge chunk of the pie, to over 60% of the pie.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
That wasn't the answer I was hoping for, but maybe it's the one I needed to hear.
Like, I mean, no disrespect in any way to anyone who's trying to do fantasy football or whatever, but go type in Best Ball live draft on YouTube and go look at all the people who are streaming best ball drafts. You're going to find hundreds. You're going to find people you've never heard of. You never know who are streaming live drafts, Underdog drafts, DraftKings drafts, Drafters drafts, all that stuff. 400 views, 200 views, 57 views, you know?
Mm-hmm.
No disrespect to any of those people. And obviously I was in a unique position because I've been in fantasy football for so long and I made the pivot when people already knew who I was. I'm not saying that like Tyler, in terms of presentation or ability to like talk into a stream, no difference between your stream and my stream. None. Same thing. You get the same shit. It's just a little bit of a different flavor.
Yeah.
But the packaging on YouTube in general, super, super important.
All right. Well, I'll see what we can do about that. I'll have to, maybe talk to a couple, night shift nurses and see where the best place to buy blackout shades are. So
they can't be that expensive.
They can't be. Like maybe $50, you think? $50? It's 2 BBMs. That's 2 guests I'm not going to have on my channel.
That's 2 guests you're not going to have on your channel. All right, guys, we're going to get we're going to get Tyler 1 out of here, and we are going to bring in Mr. Tyler 2, Mr. Emo. No, unfair. You're only Tyler 2 because you're on last. Although you and I suppose PPR have the distinction of being the only guests who have actually already been on this program before.
I was here first. Everybody forgets.
True.
I was here first.
Yeah, you probably streamed with me, I don't know, 4 or 5 times in the 2024 summer.
Yeah, it's I don't know how I just got Wally pipped to number 2, but I'm coming for that crown, Davis. What do I have to do to get to number 1?
It's very, very hard to say. Yeah, I don't. It's anyone could be 1 or 2 at any given time. Tyler, how have you enjoyed? How much of this have you watched? How did you think PPR did?
I didn't watch a lot because I'm one of the few people that has a full-time job
that has a job.
Yeah, I can't just fuck around and pop in and pop out as I please with my schedule. So this week is going to be tough, but caught a little bit of everybody. It's a really fun, good final 5. PPR obviously is built for this. That's why this works for him for the tower. But I think he's got some glaring weak spots in his game, like not reading books, not eating vegetables, not knowing how to heat a pan before you start cooking. Basic skills that help you relate to your average everyday chat rat. That is important.
It's so true. I mean, this has been a frequent bone of contention with me at PPR Tyler, but he needs to broaden his horizons. Honestly, all of you guys have done a great job. This is I'm really, really glad that Pete had me do this week as opposed to doing this like 3 weeks ago.
You're so happy to be the final boss.
I don't think I'm not the final boss, right? I'm sure there's going to be more bosses to be had. We are drafting at the 7 slot in this Best Ball Mania draft, by the way. So we can take whoever. You need to fix your lighting too, Tyler.
Brother, that's what the stipend's for. We're on the clock.
Do you have a convincing reason to not take Jonathan Taylor?
I'm a JT guy, and I like that is a zig from the sharp zag.
Yeah, give me the case of being the JT guy.
So he finally sees, and there's a little lighting improvement for you. Let me know if that digs your fancy. He finally sees like the best target share of his career last year. He's crushing fantasy football. He's like one of the league winners you have to have. And then his quarterback fractures his leg. Then an old man off the couch from like 2 years ago comes in to run the offense. Better than we thought, but not exactly good. Runs really bad on not getting touchdowns when they actually make it into the red zone. And then all of a sudden, people just like, that was a good season, but it wasn't a great season. Regression this, regression that. Pittman's gone. Targets have to go somewhere. It makes no sense not to continue to feature one of their most explosive, one of their best players with just the ball in his hand, especially with the quarterback who was mobile, who cucked a couple of, tush-push touchdowns, some of the rushing work, who's coming off an Achilles. So it makes all the sense in the world to continue to feature Taylor just from a common sense standpoint. This team wants to win. They made a bunch of misguided moves last year as a team to like go all the way with Sauce Gardner and stuff. And so you're looking at a team that, with especially with Pierce coming off of an injury, now you've got two key pieces of the offense that are not 100% for a while, maybe all season. It just makes sense to feature Taylor. Also, another fun thing is that the RB2 is a Jag. At least Abdullah, who was a pass specialist, you could see why he got on the field last year in pass towns. Well, he's gone now. So Taylor can absolutely continue this like really strong target share. And I see no reason that the explosive guy with explosive plays can be a guy you need for fantasy. We just saw it 2 years ago. He just ran bad.
Aren't you worried about Daniel Jones, who was always ass, coming back with a torn Achilles? By the way, we're like gonna have a 6 start here because Bowers went early and Hampton went early, so we can take whichever of these running backs you like. Or we can take Drake London, whatever you want.
I like Chase Brown. I like Derrick Henry more. The bye week Sims would not like it, but I say fuck the Sims, take the king.
Are you a Sims user? I mean, I'm sure the difference between you and your co-host is I also know that you know how they work.
Famously, I know how they work. I do use some. I use Spag's Best Ball Champion.
All right, there we go. I mean, it's always nice. So what is I haven't asked any of these other guys this, and maybe I should have, but what is your vision if you win? What's your show with Peter or on Peter's channel with Peter, without Peter, with whomsoever? What would be the vision?
Well, so those are different questions, right? Like a show with Peter is different than my own show solo or of.
Well,
of
sure. Either
right.
way.
I've thought a little bit about it. I don't think I'm the heavy favorite by any means. That's why I've been having to grind this out. But I think one of the things that's missing from fantasy, and it's starting to become more ubiquitous a little bit, mostly as we get to lean on guys like Jeff Mueller and, previously Edwin Porras for medical stuff, is to kind of like buy, sell, like health related news stuff. Cause I think that's one of the last remaining edges in fantasy. But then I think that's potentially too niche. You don't want to talk about the same things all the time. So really and truly, I think one of the fun things that could be really fun to do that I think is actually a useful exercise for fantasy and for really anything in life is like a spin zone show of like every player, every situation, pro, con, and like which one actually moved the needle. Like I think to actually move off of takes, because I think if we draft all year, we get really bogged down with priors really easily, myself included. And so like a weekly show of like spin zone it and see like, is my prior like 2 week of an argument when I spin it the other way and spin it back to each other, do some debate stuff. And that could be about any player, any situation, especially as like narrative season gets kicked up and we like, let's actually talk about the legitimacy of the narrative. How much does it matter? We have some really dumb narratives. So I think it would be a fun show. It'd be topical. And those things would be something you could go back to all year long.
Would it be pre-recorded or live?
I think it plays either way, right? Like you can do that either way. And I think it plays for engagement on comments, but also you can make it really tight and well packaged. Let's go Flowers. I know this will be like the second time you've done double Baltimore, but let's just stack up a Ravens offense that I think is slightly too cheap for like what their ceiling outcome is with a modern offense not run by Greg Roman.
I actually think that, first off, I think that's actually a quite good idea. I think it plays way better as a pre-record than a live where it's edited, and you actually have the advantage of knowing a very good editor, good friend.
The best editor.
With Mr. Strachan. So that I think would be quite good. Get some sound effects, some transitions,
the graphics would slap. Yeah.
Yes. I quite like that as a show. Now, also, are you interested in just best ball content, best ball and redraft, dynasty? Like what your goal? I mean, the show on Peter's channel is one thing, but for the global sanctuary and Toxic Tower brand, would you like to branch out of just best ball or what? What's your thought?
I've been doing more than best ball in the sanctuary for a while. The reason why I did this show is because no one watches or cares what I do, despite doing it for years. So the whole point was like bring a spotlight and a platform to what I do and what I do with my other channels, my other co-hosts. Like on the Sanctuary, I've really enjoyed doing the weekly content, whether that's dailies, whether that's start sit, whether that's tiers and rankings. I just love fantasy football. I love all the formats. I don't love playing Dynasty, but I like the economics, kind of like Jacob does from the Dynasty standpoint. We're on the clock though, so we'll get back to that in a sec. Can I see the queue?
Oh, sorry, I was on the wrong tab.
Let's go, Garrett. Let's go with Buka. No. Evans. Did I get it in time? Yeah, let's go Old Man Evans.
Old Man Evans. Wow. I tell you what, you guys are really improving my Jacquard tree today.
I know you. I know who you don't take. And I think Evans' ceiling is completely undervalued, even in the 4th round from like a targets, alpha, touchdown standpoint. I love simplifying the game. Let's invest in simple, really elite offenses and elite offensive play callers. The top 10 guys, if there's even 10 in the league, that are just going to be really good for fantasy, no matter who's playing. The fact that Jags like Kendrick Bourne could have been like top 24 guys last year in any given week tells you that you want to invest in these Shanahan offenses. Evans is really good. He takes a pay cut to just go chase a ring with a coach he believes can actually get him to the Super Bowl. Brock Purdy's touchdown rate year over year is insanely good. I think he's just a really good fantasy quarterback in this offense. And quite frankly, Rizzy, who I like, is like interesting, but Evans could easily see like a 30+ target share a week. And really the only thing is we're just being ageist. And that didn't exactly work out for fading Adams last year before the hamstring injury, late in the season, which any
Except
receiver.
It did kind of work out because, yeah, of course the 33-year-old
Of course the old guy gets injured. Malik Neighbors got injured. Oh, it's just a fluke. The old guy gets injured.
It was
He's
a fluke.
old.
It was a fluke. The
It's
Malik Neighbors
conditioning.
ACL tears are generally fluky.
I would say any soft tissue injury is fluky because it comes down to conditioning. It comes down to like how guys are getting tackled and shit.
Well, hamstring. I mean, hey,
It wasn't even his hamstring. It was his collarbone, and he came back early.
Adams was the
handy, but like he still came back in like 4 games to like put up a good playoffs for his team. So like even then, the old man still came back and like played better than half the guys playing his position like in the real playoffs.
Now, when we have the 2 Ravens, how important do you think Lamar is? Do you have any? Do you want to take him or do you want to try and push?
You have taken Lamar on almost every team I've seen today. Let's go Tuten and attack the flex. I'm not too worried about needing Lamar, especially in a room like this where I think quarterback is a better click in round 6 than round 5, simply because of just your options. And I think we've played the Ravens through either the pass or the run, and that gives us the flexibility to not absolutely need Lamar, at least in like a final standpoint.
I don't ever remember a round being so dominated by one position ever in the history of best ball than round 6. There are 6 quarterbacks, sometimes 7 that go in that range. It's completely I don't know how tenable it is. It'll be one of those things that'll look very funny at the end of the year because obviously we'll be taking these quarterbacks like, oh, you guys didn't know this guy in round 8 was an obvious smash. Like, what were you doing? I got to say, point in your favor over Squares there because Squares had me take Lamar there. Now, Byshell Tuten was also gone. It was a slightly different context, or maybe it wasn't Squares.
You don't need to compare me to a guy that's done 2 drafts this entire summer. I get that stacking.
It's pretty. I gotta say, it's pretty incredible. He has stayed afloat for as long as he had, with the degree to which he is not.
It's almost like the challenges have been up his alley to avoid the football talk. Like even the debate points were like had nothing to do with football.
Well, football talk is the least important part of this. You know this as well as I do.
It is. I'm just saying that's why it's not surprising to me that he's made it this far, because it's been geared towards his talents, and his talents are like on-camera presence, cadence, just juggling balls in the air, etc.
Would you rather take Tyson or P-Wash here, or get the quarterback?
I'm a P-Wash guy. It gives us a double Jacksonville stack as well. And my P-Wash thing simply is hits matter more than misses. The Liam Cohen slot receiver has been a cheat code in NFL fantasy. Parker looked really good in this role. He was earning work early in the year, like air yards wise, that just wasn't materializing. So it didn't come out of nowhere. We've also seen him be a really good slot receiver, and we've underrated it in previous regimes with previous offenses. And we're hearing that he's going to get extended. To me, just like buy the Jags, because Liam Cohen is, again, one of these, like, buy the offense, buy the players. And if P-Wash is a hit, he's giving you, we saw his ceiling is like second round level, like weekly ceiling from a receiver perspective. And in a flat tier, I just might as well take an upside shot at a cheaper price. Like, you can argue he's expensive, but he's not expensive if his role is the power slot with a little bit more variety. That we've heard some of like the screens, the quick hits, and we've heard a little bit more of, hey, we know from an efficiency standpoint, he was a really good man beater and had good separation and good efficiency metrics on the perimeter. And now we're hearing that like BTJ, Jacoby, and Parker Washington allow them to be very versatile with like alignments and stuff. So why not just trust that Cohen is going to put his quarterback in the easiest position? Why not trust in the rapport? Because if I miss on a 7th round receiver, well, all of these 7th round or 6th and 7th round receivers all look flat and kind of unappealing and can miss any given week. But P-Wash is one of those that has shown us like a true tantalizing ceiling that with an offense I want to invest in.
I'm so out on P-Wash. I will
I know you are. You don't see the vision.
I don't.
You can
frankly,
envision a
I've
world
never,
where Ferguson earns 60 targets as the wide receiver 3, but you can't see a world where Parker Washington gets like an extension that Jaden Reed got 110 targets and, just is a good pick.
If he's so good, why did he play behind so many bad players, Tyler?
We've seen late breakouts all the time. Jawan Jennings is a decent, like, without the injuries, Jawan was like the same thing of like, oh, he finally got a role. He showed the offense he could do more. The coaches trusted him, and then he played that role well. Outside of injuries, he was a good pick for fantasy.
All right, well, we are up. We can take whoever you want. You want to take Lawrence now?
Yeah, let's just take Lawrence, because again, this tier is so flat, and missing out on our quarterback to take any of these
DK Metcalf
feels wrong. Yeah, I mean, dude, DK Metcalf going from one of the most exciting clicks you can make in the top 3 rounds 3 years ago to being one of the most disgusting, boring picks in the 7th is hilarious.
They're calling it the Aaron Rodgers effect. Now, I gotta say, you guys can't possibly be this far into the competition and still think that football talk is the only thing that matters.
I don't believe that. I just want to keep needling.
I refuse to believe that you like.
I like
you can get best ball. You can get best ball. You can get best ball content from anyone. You want to listen to content from people you like.
I agree with that. I mean, dude, listen to Living the Stream. Denny and JJ talk about bowel movements for 20 minutes before they talk about quarterback and tight end streaming, and people love that. I want to talk about something real with you. I didn't get to talk about it on the tower last night. I did my first mega creatine load of 30 grams yesterday.
30.
The literature, Davis. Some really strong literature about
there is some very
brain.
strong literature. I don't
It was
know.
hard.
I don't know if I can do that to myself. 30 feels like asking for a big time stomach ache.
Brother, I was good. I feel great today. I've been sleeping like crap because, as you can hear, I've been battling a respiratory thing for 9 days now. Been sleeping like crap. I took 30 milligrams last night. Anecdotally, I feel great. Let's go Purdy. I'm not tempted by the Sutton thing, and we have a stack, and now we can like be flexible with how we push quarterbacks.
It's true. Yes, DK Metcalf, this is true, was once the overall dynasty wide receiver 1 for
we get so horny for like the big, strong, fast guys that run pure on touchdowns.
We do.
Now you used to. You're a tiny king now.
Is your plan to keep this insane creatine load for weeks, for months?
No. From what I understand of my understanding of the literature is it's a one-time mega dose, and that in place of like regular small amounts to just get up the absorption is like more than fine. So I'm thinking this is like a once a month max type of thing. And going forward after a couple of days, I'll probably go back down to like 5 or 10. I was talking with Easy a few months ago. He was like anecdotally doing 15 just to make sure you got the absorption. And I was having really good results with like 10 to 15 a day for that. Because I sleep like crap. Like I'm not biohacking sleep. I can't sleep very well. Never have, never will. So I have to like try to fight off the dementia that's coming for me at the end of my life. And the way I do that to me is biohacking with creatine. But I hadn't been able to like go to the gym between my respiratory thing, between my hand and my wrist injury from the gym a few weeks ago. It's been like a really bad month. So I was like, I need to get on it. And I'm like, let me do the 30-gram mega dose. And it took like 2 of these to get it down. But I felt great. I thought I was going to shit my pants. Did not shit my pants. So, anecdotally.
I take 10. And some people would be like, "Oh, that is way too much." But
10 is the sweet spot. 10 is easy.
10 is quite nice. All right, we are up in one pick. Lawrence Purdy, JT, Derrick Henry, Byshell Tuten, Zay Flowers, Mike Evans, and P. Wash. What direction you want to go here,
dude? The Michael Wilson thing, he's still not quite cheap enough for me to jump.
I was gonna say he's hand holding with P. Wash.
No, he's not. Stop it. Let's go Pittman. I'm buying all the Pittman this year. People forget he was very good in fantasy again before Dimes' leg was snapped in twain. And then Rivers, and he connected with Rivers a couple times when Rivers threw more than 80 air yards a game. And now he's going to a quarterback he fits very, very well with from like a schematic standpoint, a real life, like what's going to work with quick passes and just like body type stuff. And at the same time, like Michael Wilson very clearly only created when no one else was there. I would contend with you that he's hand holding because Jacoby was still there. BTJ was banged up, but still there. So no, in fact, it's not the same thing as Michael Wilson. Michael Wilson looks really fun, but he's obviously like if Marvin Harrison is there and they're not throwing 45 times a game, leading the NFL historically in pass attempts. That said, I got to watch Michael Wilson live in week 15 cook Derek Stingley. The boy's talented, but I'm worried about, how pass heavy is this offense going to be? Because it's also not the same OC. We know for a fact it's not going to be the same quarterback all season. So that's what makes Michael Wilson a tough pick to me.
One of the underreported things is that the Steelers did get a huge upgraded offensive coordinator. They have a KOC tree guy or like a McShaney tree guy now. They're going to should be like significantly more pass heavy, probably play a good bit faster, going to be route trees. Well,
it's not going to be that fast because Rodgers is a slow pace guy, but it's going to be better than Aaron Rodgers and Arthur Smith. Yeah.
Yeah. And just like more creative, I expect them to be more efficient. Honestly, I think there will be people like Darnell Washington. I actually think there's going to be a good bit less 12 for them than there was last year. No, it could be Freiermuth who ends up being the loser there. But I find myself reluctantly buying the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, I like Michael Pittman Jr. a good bit.
Pitts here is an easy click. I don't know why he keeps falling into rims today, but this is
you want to do Pitts or Kittle for the stack?
No, let's go Pitts. Let's push Kittle. One of these guys is coming off an Achilles. One guy's not. I understand. Emo is the one tweeting about, hey guys, location of the Achilles is higher.
Dude, it's a brand new repair. The greatest repair. They repair it where the injury actually occurred instead of attaching it to the bottom of the heel.
The Achilles, it's higher. The medicine, it's better than ever.
It's better.
Never seen an Achilles this high. It's the highest. He's gonna be so fast. Ignore that he's 33. The vibes, my issue with it is like those are all reasons that like I'm excited that he's not gonna like start on PUP probably, and he might get back to form like midway through the season. He is still 33, and we just saw our sweet boy Taysom Hill look like a man stuck in quicksand off an ACL. He was 33 with an elite athletic profile, just like Kittle. So like Kittle's that guy, but I'm also worried that like Kittle without a ton of yak, which is very reasonable year one, even with the I think the location helps the speed at which he returns to the field and the speed at which he returns to form. I don't think that all happens this year or by like week 10 of this year. So that's what I'm a little bit concerned about as his price gets higher.
You know what? I just think Kittle and Neighbors are such funny guys because the way that we did best ball 2 years ago, we would have been like, these guys are the best picks. Like, who cares?
Because we were
cares?
dumb. We were dumb.
Who
David.
cares if they're zeros for the first month of the season? Is there anyone you want to advance more than George Kittle or
True.
Malik Neighbors? We are on the clock. 2, 3, 4, 1 is our build.
Casey is totally fine.
Yeah, I was gonna say we barely missed out on George Kittle, but that's not true. On one of the teams we did today, I don't remember which one it was with. We took Kittle there, and then Pitts fell all the way back around to us.
No, I saw it. It was with Tony. Nez was glazing yet again one of my opponents in the contest without ever saying a good word about me. I remember Nez. I'm just kidding. And he's like, "Oh, what a great team!" And I'm like looking at the board. I'm like, "Yeah, it's a bunch of picks after ADP that fell right in your lap." Like, oh my god, how did you draft such a masterpiece?
Good for them. What would you say has there been any self-illumination, self-discovery as part of this contest that you found something you didn't know about your game or about content creation? Is there anything that you've used doing this the last 3 months? You're like, yeah, we should do this, or I should do this differently.
No, I mean, like, dude, the funny thing is like all the editing stuff was like, dude, I got a crash course in like quick turnaround post-production. And I have such a respect now for like editing and production. Cause like and Pete's talked about it a lot, but like, I didn't have to do it on such a a tight timeline of like idea, script it, outline it, record it well, then go in, then tweak it, then re-record it. Then like all of that. That's a lot of work. It's hard to do. I had to do it twice, back-to-back weeks with a real job. And it's like, dude, that was as much of a grind mentally and emotionally, spiritually even, as like the early days of streaming with like no one in your chat and like 20 views after 2.5 hours. Like it was taxing. And I've gotten way better at it very quickly because it's like sink or swim. Like get good at it or you get left behind. I also just discovered that like you gotta play the ranges a little tighter sometimes. You know, I think we'll talk about it a little bit. Let's see, we're on the clock. I like Shaheed a lot.
Shaheed's good. Also gives us the option for a third quarterback if we want one.
You're on to me. You know, keeping this third quarterback alive and open.
The edited videos, the pre-recording thing, I will say, they're much harder for me to do. I do a lot of them. They're harder for me because you're just not getting the immediate gratification of people responding to it in real time. And
when
seeing
if those
people
flop,
watching the show,
it hurts because you put in a lot of time and effort.
Yeah, I mean, frankly, I actually don't spend that much time editing for the stuff I'm doing now, because if I was going to spend a bunch of time editing, then I wouldn't be able to put out nearly as many. And so I've just weighed the cost benefit of like, do you want to put out one really good video a week, or do you want to put out like 4 pretty okay videos per week? And I'm like, I would rather do 4 pretty okay videos per week. And it's just so this is my redraft channel, and it's just so funny to see the differences in views, like 4,000, 6,000, 615, 3,000, 800, 1,000, 4,000.
And sometimes there's no rhyme or reason.
Sometimes there's no rhyme. Sometimes there's no rhyme or reason for it.
Can I say, how is your YouTube in light mode, bro?
I just have always done YouTube.
Mr.
Studio
Huberman
on my
Hacks
computer.
has light mode YouTube.
Light mode YouTube. I mean, on my phone, YouTube Studio is in dark mode. But honestly, I didn't even really know you could change it. Honestly, I don't spend that much time on YouTube Studio on my computer. It's mostly.
And you wonder why the
my
views
phone.
aren't higher, Davis.
It's a disease. You don't like, if you were a content creator, you can spend all day on YouTube Studio.
Dude, I spend too much time. You and I are kind of simpatico that we're very addicted to the online presence, despite knowing full damn well it is rotting our brains.
It's really, really bad
as
for you.
fast as possible. Yeah.
Okay, we only have 3 running backs. Not that we have to take one, but just something to be mindful of. Are you thinking we do Strange here?
Yeah, let's just get Strange. Second tight end. Again, when we go 2 running backs that high, and our third was Tuten, we're looking at max 4, maybe 5 if we push running back like another 2 rounds, right? Like I don't mind building teams like this with some of the cheaper, like getting guys like Concepcion at the price they are, a best ball like guy like Shaheed, who when he hits your lineup, it's 2 touchdowns, 100 yards, etc. I just think it makes sense to just play those pockets where structures like what I'm trying to draft more humble this year of like my takes are good, but I'm not going to like, we're going to bat maybe 300 and have a good season from like a take perspective, but a dog shit ROI perspective, because this is how fantasy and these contests are. So be a little bit more like Herzig with ADP, a little bit more deferential, be mindful of bye weeks, be mindful of like structure, be mindful of pockets of the draft, and just we can draft better than like 85, 90% of drafters. So just do that. Be a little humble about the player takes and structures. And I'm still not great about that. And then hopefully Bink. Like I think that's, you and I are simpatico in that as well. Of like, we have a lot of ball knowledge. We have a lot of takes. Some of them are good. Some of them are like, just being contrarian. But it's like,
not so
if we
good.
could just be more
sometimes
humble,
maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. Yeah. But if we were a little bit more humble, maybe the results would be a little bit better. But even then, like, that also comes down to like the contest, the finish, and those things are very random. Is what I tell myself. Let's cope.
All right, we are about to be back up. I mean, we need a running back. These running backs absolutely stink.
Davis, relax. We have cheap RB2s. Let's get B-Rob. If you're that worried about it, get
no. We can whoever you want. We can take a wide receiver.
No, get B-Rob. That's fine.
I do like Brian Robinson Jr. Feels like he's like a lock for at least 100 carries. Maybe he ekes out a couple touchdowns, and then obviously in any season that Bijan Robinson sustains, multi-week injury.
He's exactly the Tyler Algier click the last 2 years again of like a mispriced RB2 simply because the guy ahead of him is A, been healthy more often, and B, we just didn't like what we saw from a ceiling perspective the previous year. And
it's just, to me,
that's a bad reason to price him that low.
To me, it is the thing that I just can't, even if the Sims are right and the math checks out, it's the thing with the Sims that is hardest for me to grasp, which is that you shouldn't take obvious handcuff guys because there are, of all the 20,000 multiverses that exist, there are a couple multiverses where Brian Robinson Jr. or Tank Bigsby or Dylan Sampson or Tyler Algier, they're just the guys you absolutely had to have,
I think in best ball though, like I think the Sims are correct in if you're building hero or zero, you probably don't need to take as many handcuffs. You need to take more shots at ambiguous backfields or guys that can overtake an RB spot ahead of them because of talent or situation. But in these like places where we're betting that our first 3 picks are our main guys in our main lineup a majority of the season, then taking a handcuff insurance for the potential league winning upside of like, the only reason why this guy's hitting our lineup is very binary. Either the guy ahead of him is hurt or he's taking the job and he's scoring 2 touchdowns. So to me, I think that that's correct from a macro perspective because in the finals, no one's out projecting Brian Robinson in this range unless Brian Robinson has the RB1 spot because Bijan is gone. So to me, it's a very binary lever as well.
Well, it is super binary, and the thing that I just disagree with. Let's make this pick real quick. What are you?
How many receivers do we have? Let's get Flournoy as our last.
Okay, works for me.
Like
I don't disagree. Might not even be the right word. I just have a hard time being like, I know this thing to be true, which is that if Bijan Robinson does his knee in week 3. Brian Robinson Jr. is going to be the best pick in the 14th round by a country mile. And sure, that might only happen 3% of the time. But that 3% of the time feels super, super, super valuable. Whereas I don't think like Denzel Boston and Trey Harris and Juwan Johnson, these guys can't be that. They can't have that. They can help you. They can be additive players, but they're not going to be, there's no scenario to me where Juwan Johnson or Dalton Schultz is a league winner. They're just like helpful little guys.
In the middle area there that is like the bell curve humble is best ball is about getting usable points and not like we've seen winners not be perfect, but just be good enough at the time. That said, I think it just comes down to like the structure of the team. The team needed an RB. You could argue that Coleman was the better pick because it's ambiguous because he hasn't like a pathway, but I think it's more likely that he's nothing and in a messy running back committee. And it's more clear that Brian Robinson, if he matters, will actually matter more oftentimes. And if we're playing for tail outcomes that are sub 1%, why am I worried about 3% versus 1% when I'm worried about that top range outcome? We're on the clock. I love
You
Tucker
wanna-
here.
Tucker? Yeah.
Yeah.
Tucker was a guy I was like clicking a ton when the Bucky
Me too.
injury stuff was floating around, but now it feels like if the 1A1 stuff really is true, that leaves very little meat on the bone for Tucker, and then he might just be a derogatory 2025 Jaden Blue ass pick.
Indeed. Here's what I contend. The Sims in my brain say that a guy that has gone for 30 plus points multiple times in the last 2 years, again in best ball, with how we built this team, I don't care when he hits. I just care that when he does hit, it's hitting my lineup in a big way. Like how straight up, how likely is it that Emmett Johnson or Mike Washington hit 30-point games? I'd say less than 2% based on what we know, which is very little, but they're late round running backs with clear multiple guys in some cases ahead of them. Their talent's very questionable. Their draft capital is very questionable. We've seen Tucker do it back-to-back years. So it's like over a 17-game season, 1 week where he's the RB2 or the RB1, which is very likely just given how matchups and injuries, whatever. If Tucker can get 12 touches and score 2 touchdowns and over 100 yards, just because of that's who he is at his core with a healthy line and just like the right matchup, they're blowing a team out or whatever. There's too many ways for Tucker to hit my lineup and it actually matter. And it's best ball. So I don't want style points. I just
why
want
did you just put best ball in quotation
because
marks?
people think it's be right ball, and I'm included in that. Like,
be right ball is a very good bit. That's a very good bit.
I'm guilty of it.
All right. Now
the question is, do we want to take one of these shitter quarterbacks or not? The Sims would tell us yes.
You're driving.
All right, we're on the clock. Tight end sucks.
Yeah, we're down to the muck now.
Take Tua and let's just bank some stupid quarterback points just in case.
PPR Tyler ass pick there.
I hate to do it to myself, but I've done enough drafting with the Sims that, again, humility. I don't love any of this range. Some of my favorite clicks in Katron, Otten, Firemuth are all gone. We're done at running back, so we don't have to take swings. And so it's like, okay, then we're now finishing the team with who is the most likely pick to hit our lineup, to actually help us advance, help us get into the playoffs where this can actually smash and get lucky with a multitude of outs. It's probably just taking guys that hit our lineup, quarterback and tight end, whatever. Like that old me says, be right, draft fancy, get your guys, show off the portfolio. Humble.
Fancy zeros are just so much, dude. A fancy zero is so much more fun than taking Rachaad Bateman or Justice Hill or Cooper Kupp. Every time I take Calvin Ridley or Jerry Jeudy, I'm just like, oh, come on, man.
I don't like it. So I'd rather save my worst picks for the last 2 rounds where everybody goes, who cares? Which is my biggest pet peeve in fantasy, is saying, last round picks don't matter because they're not valuable. It's like, well, we've unearthed real gems late. And in best ball, I can't just cut and churn the waiver wires. So you should care a little bit about your last 2 picks because those are the last 2 picks of your team and they can help. They have helped every fucking roster every fucking year that's made any noise. So I hate that. It's my biggest pet peeve. Let's click the tight end tab.
I mean, it would be like, it'd be very funny if we took Kolar.
I'll die before I do that. Gesicki here is fine.
You're not giving in to Big Kolar Bear?
Big Kolar Bear can suck my big ass. And also Gesicki is a nice little bring back on our Zay Flowers and Derrick Henry.
That's true. I guess I
You have forgotten your ways of week 17 correlation, my brother.
Yeah, that's true. All right. How do you feel about this team? Do you think we did a good job?
I think it's a good team. We hit the pockets. We've got players I like. We've got players you don't like, which for diversity's sake, your Jacquard tree is doing tricks on it.
Dude, my Jacquard tree today, my Jacquard tree got an absolute workout today because I didn't put my thumb on the scale at all. Maybe 2 picks. I was like, no, we're not doing that.
Your Jacquard tree?
I let Squares do whatever the hell he wanted, man. We took Bucky Irving at 47. I said, whatever you guys want to do is fine by me.
Your Jacquard tree said, I can do it all night long. And then 3 hours in, you're like, I need to go get OJ.
Look, how bad could it possibly be to let, 5 guys who don't really care how the team does? Because it doesn't go on your best ball Palantir. It goes on my best ball Palantir.
Okay, well, Davis, let me be the first to tell you that every team I'm involved with, I care very much, because every one of these is a ticket out of this rat race that I wholeheartedly want to escape from. I'm
Man, I don't know. Is $1 million after tax? So 685,000. Is that enough to leave the rat race, Tyler? I don't know these days.
Well, thankfully, I don't have zero in my savings account or my retirement account like some of my co-hosts, and I'm also not afraid of moving to somewhere like Portugal, purchasing for one of the cheapest places citizenship, getting access to free healthcare, and saying deuces from the beach. I have no qualms with that.
You should go to Montana, just cabin. That's the dream.
Oh, and still be in the U.S. where when I go to a hospital, it's game over.
Hey, but you have enough money. You'll get to the front of the line.
I have enough money for one visit.
Fair enough. All right. Final team: Trevor Lawrence, Brock Purdy, Tua Tagovailoa, Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, Byshell Tuten, Brian Robinson Jr., Sean Tucker, Zay Flowers, Mike Evans, Parker Washington, Michael Pittman Jr., Casey Concepcion, Rashid Shaheed, Ryan Flournoy, Kyle Pitts, Brenton Strange, Mike Gesicki. It's maybe like the 2v2 of if we would have taken Lamar instead of Tuten and then taken Pollard or Warren instead of P-Wash. I think it's fine. I think it's fine either way.
Well, Davis, we hit the pockets I wanted to hit. We hit the pockets we probably should hit. We took swings where we needed to take swings, in my humble opinion. I think we got pretty good arbitrages with our stacks. We ended up double stacking Lawrence and, depending on how you view Brian Robinson Jr., our third and last tight end in Tua with B. Robin and Pitts. We got Purdy single stacked with our main alpha. Our bets are very well correlated, very, very straightforward. We've got some good textures of youngs, olds, MILFs. They're so old. And I think we've taken right shots at league winning upsides. And you're not going to find a lot of best ball sharp streamers. Like JJ's down on Taylor. Corain and them are kind of down on Taylor. So
everyone's down on Taylor for the same reasons. It's just like he doesn't catch any passes.
That thing we said about Saquon at the 2-3 turn 2 years ago and buried us.
Yeah. Oh, actually, real quick before I let you go, I actually have an announcement. I meant to play this in between every single draft and I didn't, but here you go, folks. This is this year's giveaway. I would love to send you $100,000. Anyone who signs up for Flock Fantasy using code Davis until week 17 in December gets a chance to win 5% of my winnings in fantasy football in this upcoming season. Any best ball contest, any big high stakes fantasy football contest where I take down a 6-figure prize, there will be one entrant randomly selected in December after week 17 who gets a chance to win a chunk of my portfolio. So sign up on Flock Fantasy using code Davis to enter into the drawing.
Great ad. I have a question.
Yes.
How much of your portfolio this year are you hand building versus tools?
I just use the Flock tool, so it's a hand build with guardrails. It's
right. So I was curious, are you? Yeah, I was curious because, for me, I think I'm trying to do 25 to 30% with some tool of some kind from a Sims perspective, just for diversity and just to kind of they're useful. I don't know how useful they'll be until we have really, really clear, actionable information. But it has been enlightening to kind of reframe my brain of probably how to build these teams. The heuristics of 5 years ago are useful. They're not scripture. So the Sims have been a fun way for me to kind of reframe in the draft when I am hand building of okay, do I really need this position versus that position? Because what's actually going to hit my lineup? Stuff like that. So I was curious if you were allocating, you know what? I'll just call it the oh shit hedge portfolio of a fourth of your action being Sims, where you can go I hedge with some Sims, knowing it's all variant.
Honestly, the thing that I like is the Flock tool kind of helps me zoom out a little bit and be I don't need to be so wrapped up in what's happening now because this is what has worked for the last 6 iterations. So a lot of the noise of, well, running back smash last year, you know, but like Bowers smashed last year or Bowers didn't smash last year. Like it just kind of is more global rules. But what is that? So if you won the giveaway this year, I mean, this is just my underdog teams. This is 1,041 underdog teams drafted thus far. We got 10 weeks left of the season. You're getting what would the EV be? 5% of what's probably going to be 20,000 teams. So pretty good giveaway.
You're gonna hit 19,000 more teams in the next 10 weeks.
Sorry, dollars. Yeah,
I was about to say, Davis, put the phone down.
Because I'll do some big dogs. Maybe I'll try and do a Mastiff with Mason or something. So there'll be.
Can I give you a fun content idea? Twofold.
Yes, you can.
One, I personally would love it if you did like a So You Think You Can Tout team, like here are the 5 tout team like check-ins every once in a while, every quarter or whatever. I think that'd be fun. You could throw it, Pete's way. We could chirp each other. Something like that could be fun, potentially. And then at the same time, hell, even throw it to us. Say, I want your reactions to like, here's all 5 stand. Something like that could be fun. But I would just love to know. And then the second is, oh shit, I had it and now it's gone. Fuck. We were just talking about EV. Shit. I just lost it. Damn it. How often does it happen to you when you're like,
I mean, buddy, it happens to me. It happens to me all the time because I'm fairly ADD addled, and my job is to stare at screens all day. I gotta label these so that I don't forget. I do a bad job of labeling these, but I need to label them because I did like that idea of yours. So these are all gonna get labeled. This one was Cups, and this one was O'Hara. What a stream, dude. What a stream.
Did you have fun? Was that good for you?
Yeah, it was a blast. I enjoyed it. It was it was a great time, and I'm very much looking forward to obviously immediately after this is done, I'm just gonna go watch it back and grade everyone's performances, and then I'll be recording with Peter.
Do you have criteria set up, or are you kind of just going off vibes?
I mean, I wanted everyone to be judged based off of like what they brought in terms of ball knowledge. I want all of them to know, I mean, just ease of camera. Were they able to figure? I mean, even like when O'Hara started, like Underdog was like glitching out.
I know. I saw that.
Wouldn't
let
it. Then his mic messed up. So like, just like how are you able to roll with that? Like, trust me, you're gonna stream. There are gonna be technical difficulty. You're gonna have to figure shit out.
Oh yeah.
But I need to go take a break for about 60 minutes before ADP chasing starts. You guys can find Tyler at the Toxic Tower and at the Fantasy Football Sanctuary. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to the Davis Mattek channel, and look forward to the grading show, to the big reveal on So You Think You Can Tout.